everybody, and welcome back to episode 7 of Gamers vs. the System.
Here we are once again.
Right? My name's Spec.
And I'm Seti.
And we're coming at you with another week of fun talking about our games and and it's also interview week. We're lucky enough to get our friends over at the 1056 podcast, Tyler and Jeff. Boys, introduce yourselves.
Howdy. How are you? Jeff is motioning to me. I'll go first. Hey, I'm Tyler. I'm the co-host of the 1056 podcast. We talk about beer in the Connecticut beer scene, and then also other beer stuff, and then other random stuff. And then we're on Twitch now. We're trying to take over the world.
Nice.
And just make sure we're just doing our taxes, too. You got to do your taxes.
Yeah, right. I'm Jeff. My job is to derail everything he says when we do it on the podcast. We talk about beer. I derail it.
I derail.
No, you know, it used to be that way. You know it used to be that way. And now I'm the one who kind of brings it back.
So here's the first question.
Nothingness.
Sorry, but I got to know. How much drinking on the podcast do you actually do?
It's
not much.
It's super ironic. When we record, we try not to. Only because if we have like an interview or if we're doing an episode that's like an hour long and as you talk, you like want to drink more and then you're having like 2, 3, 4 beers in a recording. By the end of it, you sound like complete garbage. And we're not like putting out this pristine product. But like if we can at least like keep it within a certain realm of quality, we try to do that. And then like save our drinking for a video review a video review series that we do on our Instagram at 1056 podcast, and that's where we'll actually drink a little bit. But yeah, ironically enough, we keep the drinking for outside of the podcast and we'll report on it.
I mean,
during the
I
podcast.
admire this level of professionalism, honestly.
Well,
we are dealing with professionals here.
It's a little bit of professionalism.
Our game up.
Everything he said is correct, but there's also this other twist. For somebody who co-hosts a craft beer podcast, I'm actually like weirdly allergic to IPAs. So
it's because he wears the know-it-all glasses. He just hates most IPAs, so he just.
I don't hate them. I actually enjoy. I'm kind of over them now, but I enjoy them.
There it is.
I just prefer other things. But I actually wake up in the morning and have like really
piss
weird.
Excellence.
I wish it was that, but it was a really weird bathroom situation. And if we record, we usually do that on a weekday because that's when people are kind of available to do that in the evening.
Yeah.
And I don't need to wake up the next morning before work and having to deal with that. So I kind of choose not to go about that. That's more for health purposes. I guess maybe that's
super cool, guys. It really is. I think that's great that you're so professional because here
is my weird bathroom issues that cool? I don't
me and
know.
Spec over here, I think we're just kind of running a shit show. So I mean, it's nice.
We
to
are.
No, my morning after is a shit show. I tell you that right now. Okay.
Oh,
you had no idea.
So you're in the right place then, I guess.
We're getting a better picture of it now. All right, boys. That's great. I'd love to have you guys on anytime. And so now let's start the show. We're going to roll our D20 and talk about a random topic. All right, let's roll it out. See what we got going on. Sadie, you got the sheet up?
I actually don't. Do you?
I can get it. All right, we got a 9, which means villains you root for.
Ooh. Villains I root for?
Yeah.
Oh, I got this. This is easy.
Yeah, guess you go first.
Let's go.
Wow.
Get to the dark side, boy. What's up?
Yeah, Ty, you go first. I gotta think about it.
Thanos.
Hell no.
What?
Thanos did nothing wrong. He just wanted to bring back nature. Yeah, he killed half of all living things.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. You're right.
Everything that he said. It didn't work.
He tried.
Just because he cut that population doesn't mean there's more things. There was less people to make the things. It didn't work. All right, how about this? In the movie, Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, he's walking down the streets about to find his daughter. What are the streets littered with? Trash, litter, destroying the environment. It didn't work.
I forgot about that
He's a
part.
loser.
Wow. So I guess Jeff's answer is not Thanos, but
it is not Thanos. I'll tell you that right now.
You know what? I'm gonna double down and say Thanos because All he wanted to do was
You go for it. Yes.
He's sticking
and
to his
then
gun.
he just
Alright.
gets dumped
He's
on with
sticking to it. I like
all the
that.
Avengers, the entire MCU. He just wants peace. I don't
Why?
blame him.
Why? Because they said, I saw some whales in the harbor. Yeah, okay. They were fine. They're fine. Okay. They just
are they?
moved in. They're fine.
Whatever.
But
Go,
were
Jeff.
they?
You
Exactly.
But were they? We could do this all day. Great counter argument.
We're
But
here, man.
were they
We're here
fine?
for it. For this combo. We want to hear it.
My favorite villain? Shit. That's a tough one. You know, a couple
villain you
came to
root
mind.
for,
A villain I root for. I had a couple came to mind. I'm going to name 3. Because I'm just going to name the ones that came to my mind because I can't pick.
Perfect.
Is that cool?
3?
Hey,
All right.
you're our guest, man.
All right. I'm going to say I was kind of rooting for Heath Ledger's Joker, his specific Joker. And I'm not going to just say Joker. Okay?
Right. Okay.
Him specifically, his motivations, just kind of like, I am the chaos to Batman's order, being that balanced in all things. I loved that. So I was kind of rooting for him.
Sure.
And I'm sad like everyone else when Heath Ledger
For the
died.
symbolism.
For the symbolism of it, because I would have loved to see them expand upon that in another, and they would have brought him back. Joker didn't die at the end like most villains in movies, right? He's in jail, but the actor passed away, so we couldn't do more with him. But I would love to have seen more from him. I was thinking of, oh God, what's the name of the movie? Oh, it's coming to me.
We can't help you.
No, you can't.
No
but
details.
I'm going to describe it, and maybe you can help me.
Yeah,
it
what is
starred
the movie?
Gerard Butler, and he
300.
basically had the origin story of the Punisher, where his family gets murdered, and then he goes to jail for doing something like killing the guy who's responsible.
Law-abiding citizen?
Law-abiding citizen. I was rooting for that motherfucker the whole time.
Nice.
I was like, hell yeah, this guy's a genius. Go him.
Nice spec.
Wait. So hold on a second. Was he really a villain though? I mean,
Yeah, because he was murdering so many people from
Yeah,
inside
but-
prison, and they were trying to stop him, and they couldn't stop him.
yeah,
All right, so he was the antagonist. I mean, villain is what? That's subjective, right? He was the antagonist to the protagonist.
So who was the
fair enough.
protagonist in that movie then?
Yeah, who
The
was
detectives, and I forget who played
Oh,
the
okay.
detectives.
The safety of the human population. Anyway.
That was they were the protagonists.
Yeah, by the way,
People.
to piggyback off that, Jeff is basically saying that he was okay with the Joker destroying an entire hospital. So Jeff is anti.
Nobody was in there.
I don't know. Damn it! You poked a hole right in that argument, Jeff. You suck, man.
The last one is I'm a big Godzilla fan, so I'll say he counts as a villain in like the original one. Is
Does he
going
count as
blowing
a villain?
everything up. Yeah, absolutely.
You got some
100%
interesting picks. I will
Actually-
say that.
I can't get behind that one because Godzilla was the result of our nuclear proliferation, our bullshit.
Watch
so.
Godzilla Giant Monsters All Out Attack where he fights everybody else. He's clearly the villain. He has no pupils. His eyes are all white. You're going to tell me a motherfucker with no pupils is not the fucking villain?
Okay.
Okay.
We'll go for it. We'll go for it then. That's fine.
Yeah, but people.
And
love
then other
Godzilla,
ones
though.
he's the hero, and others he's like an anti-hero,
Yeah, I was
whatever.
gonna
He
say,
plays
he's
a bunch
like
of roles.
he's like a misunderstood. He's part
Yeah.
of the ecosystem. You know, there's nothing we can do about.
He's
a force of
Shrek, all right?
nature.
He's got layers.
Shrek.
Yeah, he's got lots. He's like an onion, a radioactive onion.
Oh wow.
There's my 3.
All right.
Good answer.
Respect it.
Kind of good answer, but whatever.
What about you, Spec? What do you got?
Well, the only one that could come to my mind at the moment is Samuel L. Jackson's character in Kingsman 1.
Ooh, that's a really good movie.
I was rooting
That's a
for
great one.
because he didn't like what he was doing at all. He was like, "This is necessary." He has the list.
He does.
You know, it was necessary. He was, and he did it by the means of survival of the fittest. Literally, just crank that shit up to 11. And you know, in a way, like, yeah, I'm not all for the putting the shit in their heads and making people blow up and all that. Essentially the microchips to ensure peace. But just thinking about how
Sounds like you are.
sort of like Thanos in a way where he was trying to just limit the population and kind of bring about because we are the virus, blah, 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 all that bullshit. So, all right, I will just right now, if I don't get into a whole, if I really, really, really ponder about this over the week, we'll talk. I'll put it on the adjustments for next week. But for right now, I'm going to go with Valentine from Kingsman 1.
Yeah, it sounds like you're for that microchip, but go on.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable on this podcast anymore.
Thor and I we both agree that the human beings are the real villain.
Oh, what an interesting take that no one has taken before.
And Thanos was the protagonist until Samuel L. Jackson that time. Real unique take there, Jeff. So just zip it.
Oh, that's great. I like that.
Whatever.
Yeah, y'all got some great villains. I feel kind of like my villain is way too cheesy now. Like
you gotta say it. It's too late.
I'm gonna, but it feels so disgusting. Everyone has such great picks. It's like, damn.
All right, I'm gonna say this, Eddie. It's all about the delivery, right? Godzilla wasn't the best pick, but I sold it, right? It's all about selling.
You could have said King Kong.
A used car salesman.
Look at Tyler. His pick was ass, but he sold it. You know?
No, come on.
So like, you just gotta like go all in. He doubled down. Just double down.
Well, this is this is the villain that I respected most. This is gonna sound really bad. Everyone knows I'm a weeb, so I don't feel that bad. But
here we go. Give me some anime shit.
Exactly. There's an anime called Ajin about.
Oh, I don't even know it.
These immortal human beings who have these like spirits attached to them that fight for them, and there's a guy in the show who is crazy. He's absolutely insane, and he sees the world as a game to be won, and he's like, I'm immortal, so I have infinite lives. I'm gonna see if I can take over the world. And he just tries it. Like, he just does it just for funsies, just to see if he gets caught or get, if anyone can do.
He's got plenty of time, right?
Right. So he's just like, he has this mentality of like, can I win against the world now? Even though I'm just only a human, I'm going to try to beat the world. And he just has this attitude of, I'm going to take on literally every single other person. And I really admired that. I mean, I wanted him to win. I wanted him to win.
Do you relate to that?
I believe on a deep and spiritual level, I relate.
No, let's get deep. Let's go into it. So, where did it start?
I mean, I just
I'm
feel
just
like
you don't have to answer that.
No, honestly, I like the fact that he was so just trying to turn it into a game and trying to gamify what his ability was and see how far he could go. And I want to see how far I can go. So, I related to that. Yeah, that's my villain.
Good answer.
You know who's a good villain that people don't talk about? Is one that just came up while you brought that up. And since we're getting nerdy here, Dr. Doom. Right? So the thing with I'm not talking about the movie Dr. Doom, him in the movies. I'm talking about him in the comics.
Comic book Doom.
Right. So the thing is, his goal, he already owns Latveria as a nation that's his country in Europe. Right. And his goal is to rule the world because he feels like he can do a better job at it and he can eliminate all the problems that humanity suffers from. The thing is that they actually looked into the future, the heroes and all that, and he looked into the future and he was right.
Yeah, of course.
There's an alternate timeline.
I mean, look at what he's doing. He solved so many problems in his country. He turned everyone into robots.
A country's easy, right? Easy, right? That's much more different when it's the whole world. But he actually could do it. If he actually was successful and the Fantastic Four would get off his ass, then the world might actually be a better place. Unlike Tyler's pick, which just littered the streets.
Did you want me to say like pick? King Kong? Would you have rather me say
no?
King
I just
Kong?
Wanted you to say anything else but that ass of a pick.
No, I'm sticking to it. How many subreddits were created based off all of your villains? And the answer is probably 0.
Are you basing it on the opinions of Reddit? Which they're all terrible.
They're never wrong.
They're always wrong.
The internet's
never see
wrong. Look it up on Wikipedia.
The internet's never wrong. So go to r-Thanos and nothing wrong, and then tell me if it's a bad answer.
There's a subreddit that's basically just Sauron propaganda, and it's just like shits on the elves in Lord of the Rings the whole time. It's really funny.
Was it just like for the orcs? I mean, who's it for?
It's basically like, what if you lived in Mordor and you were just surrounded by propaganda that says Sauron was right and doing all of that? And like they make posters and posts about how evil the elves are and all of that. And it's really funny. It's really funny shit.
That's awesome, though.
I'm gonna send it to our little group message that we had going, and you guys can check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Nice.
I love it.
All right, gang, that was awesome. Thanks for sharing
Sauron
the
did nothing
villains
wrong.
that you root for. I mean, that was actually really informative. We're all on a little bit on the dark side. We all look into those villains and see like, damn, what if that could have been me if things went wrong? Like maybe I understand where they're coming from sometimes. We all.
I mean, I don't want to kill half of everything. I just think.
No, but you do see the problem that they're trying to solve for sure. Like,
yes, I do.
Sure,
there's a connection there. Like, it makes you think, like, maybe. I mean, maybe they went too far, but maybe, like,
there was a meme going around saying I sympathize with Ultron in the second Avengers movie. He spent 5 seconds on the internet and said humans have got to go.
It's like,
yes. All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
was he wrong? I mean,
can I change my answer? I'm kind of liking that one more.
That's like Ultron. I get it. Like, internet's not a good representation, but I get it.
But hey, we're
totally
trying. We're trying though with this podcast. We're trying to bring that around. We're trying to spread some hope.
That means he listened to all of our episodes, by the way, which is fantastic.
Which could have swayed it
catalyst
in the right direction. Like, at a certain point, you have to like take away like the good examples and the really bad examples, and you're left with like the median.
So
bulk of
despite
the internet.
these two podcasts, even though they have a lot to offer, I'm still wiping out the planet.
Yeah, that was the tipping point. It was just like, what the hell?
Like, it was good. It just wasn't enough.
That was the tipping point.
Which I'm okay with.
That's it. I'm done. We're forget it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, that was really good. Thank you. So, yeah, we're gonna.
We roll again?
No, actually, we have
that one game.
That one game. This part of the show is where we talk about that one game. Either the game you're playing,
that one game,
a game you're looking forward to, or a game that you played in the past that you just, you hold on to it. You're waiting for that sequel, or maybe, a game you have a really good memory from. So,
oh god, that's like 3 different actual topics.
Well, no, it's you only got to.
I have like
one.
I can answer all of those in 3 different games and spend an hour in all 3.
Probably, but let's see which is the one for you though.
What's the one, Jeff?
Which one are we starting with? The one I can tell you what I'm playing right now. Actually, you know what? The one I'm playing right now also resonates as like a good childhood game that I was big on, and it didn't get a lot of talk at the time. And I'm playing the remake of Destroy All Humans 2.
Ooh.
Right.
Okay.
And I waited for the second one. It just came out end of August. And I waited because they sold it, the first one, which they also remade, and the second one, and like a co-op multiplayer with it in one big bundle for like $80 on PlayStation Store.
Awesome.
So I just got the bundle and I blew through the first one. Which I played when it came out, but I had rented it from Blockbuster. That dates this.
Yes, I remember that. Jeez.
Blockbuster.
I never finished the game because I got stuck on the final boss, and I obviously had to return the game, and I didn't renew it, so I didn't technically beat it. So I was able to beat it at age 29, which is great. So then I started the second one, and that's where all my memories are. What?
What'd you think about the first one?
I like the first one. It's the symptom of the first one was good, and the second one takes everything the first one did but made it better.
I think that
more jokes, more weapons, more missions, more story, more locations, more variety, more everything. It's more,
Yeah, I really did enjoy those games growing up. I will say that.
Oh, they're so good. And going through the second one, it's actually really funny because it is a product of its time. They've done some things to kind of let you know that it's a product of its time. So in the beginning, they have the seizure warning and all and the legal stuff, and then they also say in their words of like, this isn't meant for modern human brain, saying the jokes here are going to sound very outdated. We didn't change anything, so just know it's a product of its time and just take it for what it is.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's awesome.
I mean, why even warn people?
I know, because they don't want their game to get like just bad publicity. We warned you. If you can't handle it, then don't play it. If you can, cool. If you're not going to be lame, then just enjoy.
In that game where they have to warn people.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I thought it would be like an outdated reference, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I was too busy looking at my Zune." like shit like that. And they're like, we didn't change shit on this game.
So we
kept all those references in.
We should play this because it is like. Ty, if you ever come over too, we should play split screen co-op, man. It's got split screen co-op,
couch co-op, dude.
Yeah,
dude, that's a throwback.
I'm in Japan. There's several missions, like the third world in 1969 Japan, and before you go there, there's another example of this. They added this. This wasn't in the original game. They have this little robot that doesn't talk, and they added that in so they didn't have to add dialogue in. And it gives you like just extra hints and just other things because they added some features like a dash. So things to explain that without dialogue. And before you leave the London area and go to Japan, the robot's there and he says, to get to Takashima, go to your saucer and then go on the navcom and then go there. And also says, please note that all accents by the people in Takashima have been done by Hollywood.
Really?
Because
So
it clearly is the
really
same voice
just trying to,
actors.
like, cover their asses.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's clearly because it's clearly the same voice actors that were like the people that you would mind read in their fake San Francisco, just doing Japanese accents.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
Oh, fine. It's
Jesus.
It's poking.
It is.
fun
It
at
is.
the
Again, it's a
original.
product
I
of
get
its
it.
time. Yeah. Yeah. No.
I
And
get
no,
it.
it's
poking fun.
making it's bringing it to light, but also like cracking a joke. It's not actually done by the people of Hollywood, just like making fun of Hollywood at the same time. Right. But the game's brilliant. Like it's beautiful. The gameplay is spot on.
I
It's
don't even
much
know
more
why
fun
they had
to
to
play.
go that far to like punch up the make it more socially aware or aware of itself. I don't even think they needed that.
It's not socially aware. It's just letting you know that it's a product of its time. They don't pull anything back. There's jokes in there that made me just like stop for a second. It just like because like I'll be flying around in the saucer blowing up buildings, and I'm a little alien guy, right? Very stereotypical alien guy. And he goes, "Oh no, a flying midget!" And you're like, "Whoop." And and it was just like I'm not offended by that. I get why people, that's not a term we use now. Whatever. It came so abruptly. And because we live today, I just wasn't ready for that, and it got me for a second. But
humor.
Enough of that stuff. The gameplay is awesome. It's much more fun because that's true. Because they're it's on the PS5 and not the PS2. The what do you call it? When it renders out further the world, right? So it's not like
the
draw distance.
Draw distance?
Yeah. So because it's the PS5, obviously it loads the whole world out, where the PS2 didn't. As you moved, it would load the world. So that means that if you destroyed a building on this side of the map and moved to the other side of the map and then came back, that building was back up in PS2 version because it reloaded the building. But on the PS5, none of that's true. So you could just destroy the whole city and move all the way around and see the beautiful city from high top. Like all that, it matters. Like that's what makes the remake really, really cool. Hilarious game. It's killing me. I'm having so much fun with it. So that answers two questions. What am I playing now? And what's a game of my childhood? Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What about you, Ty?
I like that. And that is a really good game.
Yeah, like this one's kind of tough because there are like a lot of good answers, but I would say like I've been playing video games for 20 years, 25 years, every bit of it. And probably the game that I played the longest, and it is going to be such like a eye roll answer, but it is Grand Theft Auto 5. Like I've played that on the 360, the PS4, the PS5.
That's how City and I met, bro. It's all good. That's
right.
I was there opening night for the PS3 version. I waited in line outside of GameStop.
And all of our gamer
I was
hearts.
almost going to say Rocket League because I played that. I've been playing that since 2017. I haven't played it as much.
He's actually really good at it. Tyler's actually really good at it.
I've lost my touch, but I'm okay. I'm at my peak. I was pretty legit.
He didn't lose his touch. He's just rusty. There's a difference between that, Ty.
True.
If you lost your touch, you can't get that back.
But Grand Theft Auto 5, I love the story mode was great. I only played through it once, but like I played through it enough to obviously know how it all ends up. And the online is, although it has its faults and it's clunky and the controls for what kind of a game it is, it's very rudimentary. Like any small movement is like impossible. Even with all of that, it's still like such a great game that just over the past like 8-9 years that it's been out, it still is like
10,
a great product. You're going on 10. So I have so many great memories playing that. Although I love the whole backdrop of being like a fake Los Angeles. Great game. That's my pick.
Well, if you're good at the game,
what's with Rockstar and not being able to do menus? Like
That's true.
Yeah, like Rockstar can't do menus for shit. Just a basic menu to do anything.
Yeah, that's
only
true.
time they came close to making a
give their
somewhat
audience
online
what they
menu
want.
was
That's
for
the
Red
real
Dead 2.
problem.
Yeah, that's the bigger issue. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
I saw a
Sorry,
Facebook time hop from Jeff like 6 years ago. Oh, that's okay. I'll just finish this one point. Jeff sent me this article that was like about GTA 5, and it's like, oh, there might be an update where you can fly in between like Vice City and Liberty City, and I was like, that'd be sick. And it was just like, nope,
I
couldn't
couldn't understand for the life of me why. I know they're talking about that for the new game. They're actually talking about that for GTA 6, which is cool. But I could, for the life of me, with all the money they were making in the online, could not understand why they didn't implement at least one additional city. And I know that's a lot. But they were making absolute bank, and I couldn't understand why.
Considering the time, it's not a lot. Considering how long the game's been out, that's like something.
Right. They had 10 years to do it, or let's say that became more real to do within the first 3 years. So they had 7. Let's just give them that time to like. Okay, we're making a lot of money. We have a lot planned.
Right.
We're gonna make bank doing this. Say 7 years they had to maybe add just one of them, not even all of them. But apparently they're doing that for GTA 6, and finally makes sense. Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Oh, they said they're doing that.
Hard. So I was gonna ask you about since it's Grand Theft Auto, I have to ask weapon of choice, vehicle of choice, just off the top of your head.
Oh,
I don't know the name of the gun. So
yeah,
but I know exactly the one.
The default one I always went to was like just the assault rifle, just because it was like I just knew that motion, just in the wheel. But of course, I'm trying to think of a really funny.
But there's a bunch of different assault rifles.
It was the tomahawk, because if you killed someone, you would get this like rage, and I thought that was hilarious. Well, It was funny. Death is not funny. Murder is not funny. But in the game,
hilarious. Tyler thinks murder's funny.
I don't.
Root for Thanos. All right,
ruined for Thanos.
Well, it's different. It's different. You don't get it. No.
This is for the population.
Yeah, then the car of choice is the Lucid, the electric vehicle. It's dead quiet. And it's, I don't know, it's just slept on too much.
I don't know the name of the gun.
I don't think I've even
I just know that the magazine's in the back and by this one.
Yeah. Oh, no, what kind of gun I use? I just know the sound it makes when I kill a man.
I haven't played GTA in a while.
I know. It's like a game I play in like the winter, like just a game when I just have nothing to do and just want to pour like 8 hours
when you wish you were in LA when it's cold outside?
Pretty much, yeah. Like old people
updates.
Yeah, old people go down to Florida and I just hop on GTA 5, like tomato.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we got that. I mean, like that's and like I said, that don't be ashamed of that answer because Seti and I, we met on that game. We've had years of time playing that game.
Corey, I've enjoyed my time playing Red Dead Online with you. Too bad they killed it.
Yeah. Hey, they got an update today or yesterday, whatever. The last update before they finally just. But
did they?
That's just how it goes.
Spec and I played it a little bit as well, and
what did they add?
Corey, Spec would carry me. Yeah, what do they add? I'm curious.
They I was looking at the patch notes today. They were talking about how they were trying to implement some new game modes or just new maps for the game modes that they currently have out. Just slight quality of life improvements, but it's nothing comparison to what we're a content update.
There's nothing to do and nothing to work for.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's just the sad reality. Rockstar was like, well, we're not making money with this. We'll go back to LA, and they just fucking just dump more. And I love now whenever I hop on, because I will hop on occasionally every once in a while, and I will see like they're so desperate for us to buy shark cards now. They're like offering like $9.6 million extra if you buy the Megalodon card. And I'm like, you desperate fucks. I'm glad you're so desperate. You're trying to throw money in. It's like, why? You just gave us the updates where we could do whatever we want in a private session now. So fuck you, Rockstar. We're done with your bullshit.
Yeah.
So
See ya.
you were great. You were
Screw
great
you
while
until
lasted.
GTA 6 comes out.
Crazy.
I don't even know if I'm gonna get that, to be honest.
Then I'll give you my money again, but fuck you.
I'll give you real money for a real product, but I'm not giving you real money for a product that I can't physically hold. So just you can shove it.
How about this for something that's
But we
unique to
still
me?
love them.
I was upset about the GTA 3 Vice City San Andreas remaster remakes, not because those games ended up not doing well. The reason I was pissed about that is because what that meant is that any other projects that could have been remade and remastered were now thrown out the window. And we heard about the first Red Dead being one of those that they kind of scrapped because of the failure of those GTA games. But my favorite video game of all time to this day is Bully. And and that's the perfect game to give that treatment to, like a proper treatment to.
Instead of just the port, right?
Yeah, and cause I have it on my iPad. I have the PS2 still, and I have the PlayStation 4 off the store version, but it's the port, right? No,
but
to
I have
give
the
that
Wii
proper
version,
treatment,
which is cooler.
they treatment that they give Destroy All Humans and like really give it a modernized look and feel would have been amazing. But that's gone because they fucked up the GTA games. So.
Yeah, just like they fuck up everything.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rockstar.
God.
All right, well, my game.
Seti, my boy, what do we got going on for
my
your
one
game? Oh, perfect.
My game this week is kind of an off-brand B-tier game. Very mid. Very cheesy. Not
Again,
a lot of people
Seti,
play
we
it
just
very much.
talked
I'm
about
always
this.
trying to get people into it.
Sell it.
I committed.
You know.
I feel like he's being sarcastic. I feel he's going to name like Super Mario Brothers or something, or Pac-Man.
It's called Melee.
No.
Tetris, ever heard of it? Like,
no, this one is Earth Defense Force. And I am actually looking forward to the sequel of Earth Defense Force, which is EDF 6.
Oh, yeah, Seti, you might be... or EDF. EDF. That's what he's talking about.
Yes.
What EDF? What? Earth Defense Force?
EDF!
Oh, my God.
Yes! That's the game.
We actually know that game. We know that game. Seti, we got to hook you up with our friend Kevin.
Oh, my
Tyler,
God.
he has named an anime and Earth Defense Force. How is he not hanging out with Kevin?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Our friend had me play EDF with him like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, "What is this chaos? I love it."
I played it years ago with him, and it is just madness, and I like it, but it's so repetitive. But I get it. I get why it's addicting. I totally understand.
It's a good one.
Great answer.
That's a
Great
crazy answer.
Seti.
I'm about that.
Oh,
Dude.
damn.
I'm in love with EDF, and EDF 6 is coming pretty soon. It's out in Japan. And
6? They have 5 of them.
Yes, they do. And the 6th one is coming, and I am so looking forward to just blowing up an entire map with a nuclear bomb and walking around with fucking Gundams, killing giant Godzillas, using unlimited ammo to kill just thousands of bugs, and just going crazy in a city with my friends online. Like, I love the chaos. I love just the level of destruction that you can achieve in that game sometimes is just great. And the difficulty, the game is very challenging. I think it's one of the more challenging games. Like, at first it just comes off as cheesy because you're just mowing down hordes of these fucking ridiculously oversized ants, like from some kind of 50s, horror movie or some shit. And it's just like, okay, what the fuck is this? But later on, when you start to play with more people, when you start to play with more people, and start coordinating your efforts and start raising that difficulty, the game actually does become about tactics. You can only pull so many enemies at once, or else they'll just crush you. And the bigger enemies, you have to wear them down, while all these other enemies sometimes spawn at certain points in the mission, so you have to be ready. And it really does become a coordinated team effort. And the longer you play, the way that you level up in the game, you have to collect these boxes, and the box only gives you 1 point of fucking health, and it's random when it drops on the field when you kill an enemy. So, and there are some people that I've played with that have 1 million fucking health. So those people have been playing this game for years. Okay, they are dedicated to the cause, and when they step into a session,
unbelievable.
It is holy shit. Yeah, it's crazy. So it's a lot of fun. The community is a lot of fun, and people are still playing EDF 5. People are still playing EDF 4.1. People are still, out there playing Iron Rain. There's a couple spin-offs, World Brothers. But I'm looking forward to EDF 6 because, I'm ready to put in some time back on the battlefield against the bug invasion.
Where do you play? What do you play EDF on? What's your or system? PC, console?
I'm on PS4 right now. So yeah, that's
all right. Then we might have to all hook up for that one and invite our friend Kevin, and we'll just do it.
Hell yeah, we'll have to swap our PSNs
down,
after we get off this. So.
Absolutely. Well, I still have yours, I think.
Yeah, we're friends. We're still friends. I see you playing Chivalry sometimes. I'm like, oh, I want to hop in with you.
That game is when I don't care about winning.
PC people, Jesus Christ.
That's a game for when I don't care about winning, and I just want to be a knight for a second. For Honor is when I want to be a medieval something. I play For Honor, and I want to win.
Hey man, I'm doing that in real life, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
we're all good.
Is that a sword?
Yes, sir.
Dude, what a fucking piece.
Sorry. All right.
No, you're packing, dude. You have to lift your shirt to show us first. He
hasn't brandished his weapons at you yet.
No,
I don't know if this is a euphemism or not.
No, it's real.
Oh, okay.
Not a bit.
Please put your shorts back on. Thank you very much.
Yes, no, pants are staying on. Pants are firmly staying on.
No.
This part.
What kind of podcast this is?
Right? Sorry, Sachi, by the way. Sorry,
you're about to find out.
Right? All right, so, oh, God, no, not like
Good thing your light's off.
So, yeah, our editor, our poor editor.
You have an editor?
Yeah.
We don't have an editor.
It's us. We do the editing.
Yeah. It splits off between Jeff and I.
Well, I handle the audio part, so all this part's going to be fun for me to try to dissect and put back together. But at least she's able to go down and make the shorts for YouTube and reels and whatnot. And she actually does a lot of you guys have seen that, right? So far when we put them up,
yeah, I've seen
8-bit stuff. That's all her.
Yep, that's cool. That's done very well.
She's killing it.
Yeah, maybe when we start resuming our episodes after my wedding, maybe get an editor like Sachi, or maybe we'll just poach Sachi and just be like, hey, you want to edit beard podcast stuff?
You want to listen to how yeast is processed? Anybody?
We don't get that nerdy.
Why are there crickets? No, we don't. Actually, we did that in the very beginning, and then we realized I don't care how this happens.
Yeah,
hey,
not great.
I couldn't care less.
That's great that you recognize it.
Yeah, I like when we talk about drama. I like when we ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, we'll get there. I have a good couple notes for our next episode, which we'll probably do in the next couple weeks. I want to do one more episode before my wedding, just to kind of just to put content out there. So, Jeff, let me know when you're free. I'm doing this.
Are we doing this now?
Excuse me, Spec and Seti. I'm trying to schedule our next episode.
You didn't know that we're using your podcast as our meeting room. Please mind the sign bar, please.
Well, this is going to be episode 7 for us. It'll be episode whatever for you guys. So we can post it simultaneously. How's that?
Yeah, right.
We're at episode 70-something.
Double cast.
78 or something like that. Yeah, we slowed down a lot, but that's all right. We're still going to 100, so I don't care.
Right? We can't care. We got to keep doing it because it's for us. It's for us for the people that we touch along the way in a good way.
It is for us and the paycheck that comes home.
Damn right. Get that AdSense.
We haven't seen it yet, but it's for that.
It's there. The money's there,
It's just
find it.
It got lost in the mail, I think.
Yeah, probably. It's in the mail.
Oh no.
It's in the mail.
That's what Tyler said to me when I asked him where my wedding invite was. He says it's lost in the mail. I'm sure it'll be there.
You also never check your mail. You check your mail once a month.
I checked my mail.
You check your mailbox.
He checked it.
I checked my mail on the air of our podcast because he didn't believe me that I won a Pokemon card raffle that I didn't know I had signed up for.
Yeah, you were provoked to check your mail. Most people will check their mail every day. All right.
You don't think I'm going to bust out these cards? I'm going to find them.
No. We texted us. Hold on. I promise we'll get to Spec's pick.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's fine.
My fiance and I
derail this.
sent Jeff a congratulations card for passing his boards in like the third week of August, maybe the end of August. Let's say he texted us like yesterday. 10
Third
days
week
ago.
of August. I took it on August 24th. How is that possible?
So we sent out we probably sent out the card on the 26th. It took you like a week to check your mail, dude. No,
I was checking my mail because I drove through some tolls and I was making sure that I didn't have to owe the New York state government any more money than I already did.
How many times a week do you check your mailbox?
Oh, like 3 or 4.
Bullshit.
Now, it used to be really bad. He's right.
There we go. Okay. Spec, what's your pick? Just I want it to be right.
I wish I had these Pokemon cards to show you. That would have been really funny.
No. Get those fucking cards.
Oh, I found them. Look at these.
All right. Spec.
Folks, you can't see, but he's got some Pokemon cards in front of us.
If you want to listen,
they holographic.
Listen to our most
There
you go.
Listen to our most recent episode 77. We'll give you the full rundown on that.
Okay.
What happened?
I saw
anyway,
the Blastoise. There you go. Getting some. Is that a?
Oh man, I got the package on.
It's the Alola one, so he has a long neck, and like another one. I'm pretty sure these are worthless. I'm not even sure, and I don't care because I'm a winner. And Tyler's just mad because he's a loser.
Because I'm a winner.
He didn't win the raffle.
Well,
anyway, anyway, Spec, what's your pick?
Let's see. I have a problem with staying. Like, I can't keep current. I'm always throwing out old school retro games, and I'm not changing for right now, folks. I ain't changing. I'm going with a PS2 classic of mine, and it's gonna be Mercenaries 1.
1, yes, that's the better one.
Yeah, fuck Mercenaries 2. Fuck Mercenaries 2. Mercenaries 1, baby. That's where it's at.
I was so hyped for Mercenaries 2, and I was so disappointed.
Oh my god, so disappointed. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Mercenaries 1, dude. Ty, that game scratched the same itch as Destroy All Humans. I'm gonna let Spec y'all let you do all, but I so glad you said that. I can go get my box right now. It's in a drawer accessible to me. And I'll pull that box out right now.
Isn't that the same? Was that the same studio, Pandemic Studio? Didn't they do both games?
It was Pandemic Studios.
I think they did.
I think Jeff is shitting his pants right now, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what Pandemic Studios also did?
Star Wars Battlefront
2.
What?
I played 1 and 2. I loved 1 because you could go prone.
Dude, I'm so tempted to go into my collection right now and grab.
Before we get to your game, what happened to Pandemic Studios?
Yeah, he played.
I'm doing it. Okay, we're doing it.
They did make Destroy All Humans. I'm checking right now. They made.
I was right. I was right. I love it.
Yep, and they made it the same. They made it the same year as Destroy All Humans.
They got bought out by EA, right? And then EA killed them.
Basically, yep. That's correct. In 2009,
shot him in the head in the backyard.
I'm familiar with a little bit of my video game
tragedy
history for the most part. I lived it for
so
the most
much
part.
tragedy. But anyway, go ahead. Tell us about your game, bro.
That's how they did it. That's how
pretty much
did it. Mercenaries 1 was a game that took place in Korea on the DMZ and a little bit of North Korea. And I, being from there originally, before they FedExed me over to America, it was just going back and reaping revenge was kind of like all that I wanted to do growing up. So I kind of got to scratch that fucking evil itch of mine.
Why?
And every building
God.
was destroyable. Like you could just.
Oh,
the delay kicked in, and now said he finally heard that part. That's what happened there.
Oh yeah,
that's what happened. But yeah, no, you could set up the explosives on like every corner of a building and just fucking boom, whole building gone. The cheat, there it is. He's got it, ladies and gentlemen. And the game with the greatest hits edition too. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That was it. You got your operators that you chose. Gave you different little what's it called? They gave you different little insights how the campaign went. Like if you played the middle guy, he spoke Russian, and so when you hooked up with the black market folks, the Russian mob, you were able to understand when they were like trying to be secretive behind your back, speaking their native tongue.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Jacob to the right, he was able to speak Korean, so he was able to hook up with all them. And then I forgot the girl's name. I forgot.
It's almost like if somebody had the manual,
right?
Okay.
Right? She spoke Chinese. So when you hooked up with the PLA or the people, or no, what's it called? The people's, you were able to get that sort of information too. So it was just a really good game for, like I said, there's the different.
Jennifer, her name is Jennifer.
Jennifer, thank you very much.
Dude, stop. The deck of 52, okay? The deck of 52.
Yes, the deck of... I was just about to get to that.
Yes, thank you.
Deck of 52, going through, taking them all out in crazy fucking ways. And just the cheat codes. I still remember half of those cheat codes in my head. Oh my god, unlimited money. Every weapon in the thing. Unlock this. Give me that. While fucking sending in the mother of all bombs on a location. Just everything. I was able to. Yep, there it is, guys. Like that was the game. Brings back some memories.
Just a very apt subtitle.
Yeah,
this game.
Yes,
everything you said was spot on. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Man,
and then they're like, we're making a second one, and I'm sure we were on the same page.
Took place in Venezuela. I was like, okay, this. You know what pissed me off the most about the second one? Not just the weapons were shit. Like every weapon was inaccurate as fuck, and number two, there weren't enough of them because you only give me one fucking pistol option besides having the fucking hand cannon and some other fucking bullshit thing. Another thing that I fucking hate: lack of weapon optimization and choices. And then every time you drove past something, no matter what, you drove through it the 5th time, the 6th time, the 100 millionth fucking time. Every time you drove past it, you would get the same fucking dialogue. That just went back and was, this is what I was like. I know. I literally ran out of fuel, had to turn around and fucking do that, and then fucking go out. And you gave me the same fucking spit. Like it was just lazy. They didn't. It just
wasn't fun. Like no, I don't know that whatever made. And I haven't played these games in a long time, so I can't comment on these as accurately as
dude. I'm gonna tell you exactly
because I haven't played these in forever.
I'm gonna tell you exactly.
Me neither. This is just
what I just remember the first one taking up so much of my time. Yeah, it's just not fun. The what structure?
The pay structure.
I think he's on a delay right now.
How they did rewards for doing missions and how you had to how you earned money and how you used that money to create destructant. It wasn't like it didn't pay off to destroy things like it did in the first game.
Yeah,
you were really beholden to it behooved you not to blow shit up and not attack people. So it was just like, what am I doing here? It was so bad. The pivot was horrible. They fucked it all the way up, man. Oh god, made me so sad.
Yeah,
I do remember hijacking helicopters.
When you were gone, Jeff, we looked it up. Destroy All Humans, and it was also made by Pandemic, and they were released in the same year. So Mercenaries Playground of Destruction and the first Destroy All Humans were both released in 2005. What a year.
They knew how to blow up a city. Like, they knew how.
They really did. They really figured that.
You know who doesn't know how to blow up a city? Thanos, because it's a stupid fucking pick.
Well, he didn't blow up a city. He got rid of
because he didn't know how. He didn't know how. He didn't know. So he's like, you know what? You know what? Just play to your strengths. Eliminate half the population.
I never said I was a fan of his execution. No pun intended. I was more of a fan of his idea.
I liked how he got things done in a snap.
Yeah. He was the most. What did Godzilla do? He had to
destroy a city. Boom.
He destroyed a 1982 Toyota Corolla, probably times 10.
He actually destroyed a hospital with someone in it. So that happened.
Wow.
In defense, you know how difficult it is to destroy a 1980s Toyota Corolla?
That's also a good point. That's a great point. It's just like I always think of the new like memes that have come out in the past 6 months, and it's like a random person just like saying it's like, oh, Superman using your like beat up Honda Civic to like miss an enemy, and you're just like watching it get totaled. And I was like, wow, I actually resonated with that. It's just like some like
I saw that too. It was like watching the event or watch the Hulk chuck your
car and miss.
So you didn't even do the thing. Fuck. Now how am I gonna get to? Well, whatever. I guess
I can't even say I was part of the rescuing. I was useless.
Which made me just think of Godzilla just like using a footstep to just level a car and just
or
not
Bambi.
even think about it.
You know, Godzilla fought Bambi in one.
What?
What?
You never seen this as a real thing?
Not even one bit.
No,
not once.
All right, so there's a animated short, and it's Godzilla versus Bambi, and it's about just a couple, like not even a couple minutes long. So you guys can check that out on YouTube.
All right,
it's hilarious.
Check it out after this episode.
Sure.
We'll fire. At least I'll fire it up.
Yeah.
But, all right, so there goes that segment.
I got one more segment in me before I have to go head out.
Okay, you got room for one more dice roll, brother.
Sweet.
All right, Seti, are you still on a delay or are you still with us, brother? I take it he's on a delay. Okay, so that or he's sleeping. I don't know. We were supposed to wake his ass up if he started sleeping, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Wake me up.
Wake him up inside.
Yo, you're tempting me to get this like my PS2 fired up and just like going in.
Oh, there he goes. He might be having to.
Just come back in. It's all right.
Yeah, he'll come back in. He's said he's done this before. All right, so for this next part, we're gonna roll the dice again. I got it in front of me. Let's see what we got this time. 4. 4 means we are talking about dream job. That one's pretty basic. Dream. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're, you know what I mean. But we're going on dream job now. So if you were given the chance to be given your dream job, what would it be?
Jeff knows mine. Jeff, why don't you go first? I don't know yours.
I know yours.
I think you do. I thought you did.
I mean, you've told me a lot about your dreams and your nightmares. Anyways,
it's called looking in a mirror. I mean, what?
Did we lose him too? Is it just us now in their podcast? Okay, cool.
No. Spec's back. Yeah, what if like Spec had to drop?
Welcome now to the 1056 podcast.
What a way to segue into like a podcast crossover than just like the two actual hosts having technical difficulties, and then it's just like the two guests remaining.
You just take over, just kill us off.
Yeah, we're just like yeah. This shit's over.
I'll go first. Right. My dream job. Does it matter about like my actual skill level, or is this just like whatever?
This is just like if you were, someone walked up to you like, hey, any job you want, boom, you got it. What is it?
Well, that depends on like my ability to actually do the thing.
Nerd alert.
I'll start off with like my real answer. I mean, I just passed the biggest test of my life, as he mentioned before, which was like my.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I passed to be a board certified behavior analyst, which was like the end goal. That was the dream, right? The dream job out of that would just be work for a private agency and work in schools. That's it.
That's your dream? Someone gave you $10 million.
No, that is the real
whatever
answer.
You want.
Honestly, the dream job for me, I've really taken up. I like to draw like a lot, and I've been trying to get better at it. And I would love to learn how to animate and like do that. That would be really cool.
There you go.
I would love to take that, and I would love to actually make a game. I've come up with like game ideas when I'm bored or when I'm lying in bed at night, and I think making a game would be really, really cool. I know that entails like so much to learn, and it's very difficult. But one day, I think it would be really, really cool to just at least make one game.
That's Seti's dream, man. That's Seti's. Yeah. So you guys got to talk. So start getting once he gets the studio up and running, like we're gonna bring everyone into that shit.
I would love that. Even if I made one game in my entire life and just called it at one, and it was functional, and somebody said it was fun, I would call that a win.
That's a good answer.
Very good.
Yeah, he's gotten to be a pretty good artist so far. So keep it up, Jeff. Don't give up,
man.
Just kidding, dude. Too much compliments, dude. Your shit fucking sucks, dude.
You eat some fucking dicks, bro. Your art fucking is garbage. You're good as Adolf fucking Hitler, bro. Fucking blow your brains out with a Walter PPK in your basement, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Yeah, no, Jeff. No, I haven't seen any of your artwork, but if I do get to see it, man, I'm sure it's pretty good.
Brought that way too far, but you know what? I like the energy, so I'm not mad at it. Yeah, no, his
so
drawings are actually
inspired.
pretty good.
I'm gonna draw that entire whatever he just
why
said.
Ultron's gonna cancel us. That's the reason why. That right there. Right
cancel
there.
us. You know, just go for it.
Dude, we can't be canceled, dude. We've said that before. We'll say it again.
You can only get canceled if you apologize, and I'm not saying shit.
Yeah, no, I'm not apologizing.
Anyway, my dream job would be a like content creator for like making like either videos for YouTube or doing stuff on Twitch. It's something that since high school, Jeff and I have like been just like making videos and whatnot for it's been like 12 years now on and off. And this is like the third sort of chapter in our whole like journey into this. So the more things that you do as like a hobby, like if someone were paying you to like do your hobby and have it be on your terms, that kind of sounds like a dream job to me. So
he says you're not sorry, I'm
making content. That's it.
Now.
Nope, that was it.
Oh, okay. There you go. Seti, you're in, but it says you're not. We can hear you, but it says you're not recording. I just got the notification that says you're not recording. My dream job is. This is gonna sound really, really stupid, but yeah, I want to be a knight.
That's not dumb. Hype it up. God, what's with you two?
I want to take it to fucking the 150 on 150 Battle of Nations, full suit of armor, or fucking Warhammer in hand, and just fucking go to work. And
Thank you.
That's what I want to do.
Make it epic. It is. God,
that's what I want.
That's awesome.
That's more than anything else in this world at this point. I just want to make my inner child happy, and I want to be a knight, a cowboy, and a pirate. And I don't think I want to be a pirate anymore because fuck sharks. I'm not going in the water. But cowboy, I got that done. I got the cowboy boots. I know the pistolero shit. I can lasso, and I'm happy with that. But now, knighthood. I want to work on plating up, or at least man at arms. Plate it up and go into battle. I just want to be able to see what that's all about. That's it. Simple creature.
If you don't video record all of that process, that is a missed opportunity and missed content. And if you don't let us do a post-match fight interview after that, I will be pissed. So I want to be on. We'll be on scene, and we'll have our setup. And right after your fight, we'll like do like Joe Rogan does at UFC fights, and we'll like come over to you when you're all sweaty and gross and concussed, and we'll interview you, and that'll be amazing. What do you think of that, Ty?
Sounds great.
Hey, I'll let you know when it goes on. We'll have a nice trip because I know there's a lot of stuff that happens in the States it's like just starting to become really big here.
Let's go to Ren Fair. Let's just start there. Go to Ren Fairs.
All right. Well, that's like the very like entry I feel like level to this whole thing.
Why not?
Like I said, it's there's big event. There's a combat con that goes on in Las Vegas.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't think a Ren Fair should be your end goal. I'm just saying that's where you start.
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely getting there.
Let that be your taking off point.
Yeah. You think Conor McGregor just started fighting in the octagon? No, he started fighting his siblings first. So. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. You fought your dad. You fought at the bar. Then you fight in the streets. Then you fight for Dana White and for millions of dollars. It's in that order.
Right? Just baby steps. Baby steps. And I'm working on it. It was baby steps with this podcast too, man. Like having to people have probably already heard this or not because they didn't listen to the whole episode when I said it. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? But like starting this whole podcast was all about like every time, like kind of like making a new character in Skyrim or like any sort of game where you don't know if you're going to see the character creator again.
Yeah.
Like every time I fucked something up, I was like, oh, fuck it. Tore the whole thing down, built it back up. Fucking put the files in, do this, that. Because I didn't know any better. I was literally just stumbled till I got something together. And then episode 1 was released and I was like, holy shit, I did it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
it feels good, right?
It does. It's crazy. It's definitely... I never thought I'd get here, and now looking at the analytics, like we're in overseas listeners now. Like we got people like in the UK. I just shouted out Brussels last episode, in Belgium, Spain, and Sweden just hopped on recently. Shout out to you guys. Thank you very much. Seti is definitely on board with that shout out too. He's having internet problems at the moment, so he's gonna keep working on that. But I think that's a good part. We'll figure out what he's. How he's going to hop in here at some point. But for the next part, what's on T?
I was going to say, I'm trying to think if I can see really fast, like where our audience is coming from as well, because we've had some from like Senegal.
Where the hell is that? Steve Seagal?
Yes, Steven Seagal is your listener.
The
We have
United
one
States
listener.
the United States is
only one we
95%. Yeah. The United States is 95%, UK of 1%, Senegal is 1%, Canada and Germany. Senegal's been
we actually interviewed somebody from the UK though. We interviewed a guy who works at a brewery in England.
Oh, that's awesome.
Senegal's
so like that
West
one would make
Africa,
sense because we actually had like a reach there for a second. So that was cool.
Senegal is in like Western Africa.
Wow.
Damn, they love beer in Western Africa. Hell yeah.
I guess so.
Dude, I guess so. Fuck, shout out to my Senegal boys and girls, men and women.
And then rising tide raises all ships, where the fuck is that? So
That's right.
Let's cross mix our audience. Let's see, because I know people who drink love the game, and I know people who love the game love to drink. So this is good. It's a good little crossover. I'm
Damn right.
Oh, jeez. Are we boring you?
He's
No,
like,
dude,
these
that being said,
bullshit.
That being said, I do have to hop off, but thank you for having me on. I've had a lot of fun. I'll be happy to do this again if you'll have me.
Yeah, no problem, brother. It was great having you. Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you very much.
See you on the online.
Peace.
See ya, Jeff. Yeah, you know what? I will jump to, unless you want me.
We could do the story and then we could end it there, and then
Perfect.
that way we could. Yeah. So then the last part I could figure out with SETI, and we could kind of like put in like a little end part to it. We could record.
Yeah. That's awesome. Is SETI gonna hop back in?
He's having internet problems around this time of night. Is sometimes not a good time for him because everyone else in the building, what's going on with that. So it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. I know.
Shit happens. It's okay, guys. We're starting out. We ain't got the most high class fancy shit. My laptop is barely chugging along some days, so we're doing what we got to do.
No, I know. We've been doing the podcast like since 2019, and it started off using this one mic in my Mac, and it just was not great. And just with COVID and everything, I've just upgraded it little by little. I got like these lights and whatnot, so it takes time. It does.
I hear you. Well, that's good because I know you guys got the video section of your podcast, right? For the
so that's also like another aspect too that we're trying to do.
Yeah. So you guys, you're definitely more sophisticated than us at this point, but like we're only 7 episodes in, so we'll figure it out somewhere along the way. I ain't worried about any of that shit for now. I'm just happy that I'm able to do it. That's pretty much where I'm at these days. I'm just happy for that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good project. I still look back in like our Instagram and I'm like, oh wow, like I did this. I like Jeff and I like created all this, and it's pretty wild to see it, and then like seeing our reels getting like 5,000 plays, 6,000 plays, like 2,000, like it's insane. So
right,
it's this summer has been like absolutely nuts, and for Jeff and I'm like, let's just not force it. So we'll probably do one more episode before the wedding, and then like kind of take a breather, do the wedding and all that shit, and then like start it back up in October. That's probably the goal, like sometime next month. Yeah,
and it's all about, and that's the great part about it, since you're not beholden to some corporate entity that's like, you gotta get it out by this time, or you can do just whatever you want. Your viewers are gonna be happy when you get back, and I mean, just do what you got to do. This is supposed to be fun. This is like when I get too serious about it and I start having a bad time, that's when I realize, okay, I got to step back. I got to breathe. I got to realize what the hell's going on. Like,
I burnt myself out just like trying to put an episode out every week, and that like is not fun. I'm like, this is a hobby. Like, I'm not getting paid for this. Like, I was trying to like just put shit together if it ever came that we were gonna get sponsored for shit, which is still like a ways away and whatnot. I'm like, no, this is just fucking stupid. Like, this is not it at all. So, you got to just figure out the balance there. And now I'm itching to get back into like a routine and whatnot. And so I'm like, all right, we'll get there. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. So whenever you get to it, man, that's the best part of this whole process.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a fun time.
So before we end off, let's talk about, do you have a particular story that you've seen recently in the news that you want to bring to light? Or it could be a video game story. It could be like a story from like a book, a story from history, any sort of like story that's kind of like resonated with you, because we're all about...
right.
Yeah, we're all about that whole thing of like trying to like talk about the game that changed our life, talk about a story that either is in the news that really affected us, or something that, like I said, that we kind of looked to growing up.
Yeah, you know what? I do, and I know this was kind of like the sort of the genesis behind us coming on was the the Brewmaster beer brewing simulator game for PlayStation.
Nice.
Which is
yes,
coming
that's
out.
right.
I don't fucking know when. Sometime at the end of September, and I just know that this game is going to suck. Like, there's no like, who is this gonna who like who does this appeal to? If you're gonna get like hardcore beer makers who want to do this as for whatever reason, they're not going to include some part of it. It's going to feel like an empty version of like the
not
real
even that.
thing.
They're not even. You can't even taste. You know, the whole thing is about does this taste drinkable? You know what I mean? That's
exactly.
the whole thing at the end of the thing where you can't even have that. But in all respect to the people that make the game, and I try to see devil's advocate, both sides at this point in my life. So for me, I wasn't big into football, but when I started playing, I brought this game up, I think, in the second week or something like that. NFL.
I think it was the first episode.
ESPN NFL 2K5, man. Like, that game taught me how to play football. So maybe for the person who's like, okay, I want to maybe kind of think about, because like you said, like, this isn't for the people who do it because they have the shit, they know what to do. I showed this to Cam. Cam, you've met him. He's got shout out to Spirit Brewing. Shout out to my boys over there.
Love Cam. Cam.
He's a great dude, and he's got I showed it to him, and he was like, yeah, this could be an interesting entry point for somebody. And I was like, that's a good point, where it's like they don't have the still, they don't got the technology, they don't got that shit, but they have a curiosity. And so maybe that could kind of stoke the flames for them to start, oh, okay, this is all I need? Because, maybe they can't think about, piecing up, doing all the Google and doing all the research, picking out all the shit. So maybe if they get to play it and get to kind of see, oh, okay, I kind of get a gist of it. Of course, they're going to, get hit with reality pretty quick once they realize, oh, this is more complicated than the video game. But at least it might spark that little bit of just knowledge that they might need to, or the confidence that might get them to go make that step, That's
true. It's true. It might. I'm very curious about it. Like, I will probably buy it. I think Jeff texted me about it when we were first talking about doing this episode, and he was like, we need to buy this game and
shit on
stream it and shit on it, or not. I don't know.
Right?
I will be streaming it with Jeff. So I am cautiously optimistic. So I don't know. I just tried playing the trailer and just was so loud in my ears. But I don't. No, that was on me. My volume was too high. So I don't know. But that was my story. It was the story that I wanted to bring. I think because it's kind of a marry between the two podcasts that we do, where we focus on beer and you talk about games. So that's my story.
Hey,
Jeff would probably say the same thing.
It's all good. That's great. I totally forgot. That's the reason why I texted you in the first place for this thing, because I remember someone sent me that. One of my friends sent me that the trailer, and I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, oh, okay, I know exactly the two people I got to send it to. I sent it to Cam and I sent it to you. So I was like, get a load of this, because just I was curious, because like I said, for me, I'm at least I'm trying to come out of that depressing fucking mode in my life where I'm kind of just taken, and that's partly leading into my story, where I'm trying to see the good in things, because I could always look and shit on stuff. It's so easy to do these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think, blah, blah, blah,
it's really easy to.
So to try to give things a fair shake these days is kind of where I'm trying to go from now on. So that's my devil's advocate for that story. But it might be terrible, but it might not. We'll see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. You could compare, because you've got a little bit of Cicerone. You guys went through that whole process, right?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yep.
Yeah. So so you already got a little bit of that knowledge already, to where you could okay, let's see if this really is what they're what they're trying to get at. So you could kind of have a good comparison to your own knowledge. So you're not going to be going in blind, being like, oh, wow, this is great, fucking just jerking them off. You could actually be like, oh, wait, that's definitely wrong. They do that. So you'll be able to have a more finer eye for it, which is good. So
yeah, the thing that's gonna really suck is I got a weird feeling this is gonna cost the full like $60. I'm gonna be like, fucking A,
I
like,
hope
I gotta
not.
buy it
For a
$60.
simulator game, that shouldn't be. If that's the
I hope
case,
it's like
wait till it goes on
like at
sale.
most.
Just wait. Yeah. But good thing is though, we've seen like
I know.
when a game
Oh,
comes out at
God.
launch and it's shit, PSN drops it down within like the next couple weeks. So we're hoping that's the case. It's gonna be,
I'm gonna just buy it. I'm gonna buy it at release. I'm gonna strike while the iron's hot on this and see what happens. So
roll the dice, man. Take a look. And it'll be something to stream. You guys said you're getting into Twitch now, right? You want to, before we'll get into my story, if we want to shout out your Twitch so people can listen in on that.
yeah. So yeah, Twitch is under the same name, 1056 PODCAST. We don't have a solid schedule up yet, but we're streaming 2 to 3 times a week. Just based on sort of the cadence of my week, it's mostly on Thursdays that you'll see us. So tomorrow, after the day that we're recording this, I'll most likely be on. I've been playing a ton of Fortnite, a little bit of Fall Guys, a little bit of PGA 2K21. I kind of bounce around. I think just streaming Fortnite is just the most visually appealing, just because there's a lot going on. So yeah, check us out there.
All right, cool. That's awesome, man. Like, I'll definitely have to give you guys a check in on that too, because I love you guys. And so for my story that I was getting, like I said, leading into the whole giving things a chance, I finally gave the Rings of Power a chance. It came out recently, and I'm a big Lord of the Rings fucking fan.
Yeah.
What's it called? Like all my shit, like my hat that I got. That's the Rohirrim flag. You know what I mean? I'm a Tolkien fucking nerd. Like it was John's thing that like he introduced me to that. One of the first things I think it was either Star Wars or this was I was introduced first. So like it was like it blossomed into my nerdhood. You know what I mean? Like it was that little seed.
Yeah.
And so and I didn't like the Hobbit movies. I feel like they stretched it out too much. They tried to make it. They gave the love triangle aspect. The whole bullshit that happened with Guillermo del Toro, who was supposed to be the lead on it, but then they dropped his ass and they brought Peter Jackson, who didn't want to fucking do it. So there was a lot of controversy when that was coming out. Plus, not to mention what they did to the fucking actors. Like they didn't pay half of them because it was all bullshit. But that's besides the point. So then when Amazon bought it and I heard it was going to be the biggest fucking budget, like over $1 billion for this show, and I was like, okay, I'm hopeful because they took over The Expanse and they did a good, and I was happy with that. They did a good. I haven't seen the latest season of The Expanse, but I started I was just after they picked it up, I think Sci-Fi canceled it. It was like one of the best seasons of television I watched, and I was like, okay, so I'm giving it a shot. And this is where I'm so forgiving things, but I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't make it through a full episode even. I was just so anti the show. I was like, wow. And my buddy, Goose, we had him on a couple weeks ago, and he was he actually texted the group. He was like, hey, has anyone watched this? And I was like, yep. And he was like, I actually kind of liked it. And I was like, okay, good for you. I'm not going to shit on you because you like it, because I realize, especially, for beer, for whiskey, when we try to recommend shit, we also know that it's subjective. You know what I mean? So it's
so much gatekeeping in those two communities. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But also, we also know that things are subjective, where it's like, okay, so I could recommend a whiskey to somebody that I love and adore. They might not like it.
Right.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
That's just how things go. You know what I mean? Same thing for beer.
Yeah. It sucks because they bought the rights for $250 million. I just looked it up in 2017, and the production value is over $1 billion. What, Peter Jackson's directing it or some shit?
No, they kicked him out.
Oh, right, that's right.
They kicked him out.
So that part really sucks because this was, besides The Boys, this was going to be the golden goose for Amazon Video. This was
supposed to be their Game of Thrones. They were trying.
Yeah, it was.
They were trying to do that, and so they fell short, in my opinion.
Yep. That's I've never seen the Lord of the Rings. Jeff gives me shit all the time. I know enough about the lore. I know enough about the characters, but that's it. So I gotta sit down and watch those, and then eventually watch Rings of Power. It's I watch Game of Thrones, and I don't want to watch House of the Dragons. I'm just there's too much fucking shit. We're remaking too much shit. I'm we've hit the golden age of television and streaming and whatnot. And now we're just enough's enough. We don't need to bring back Game of Thrones. It was so great on its own. Let it just be in the past. and it'll be fine.
So I was talking to one of
Rings.
my friends today, and because I did not watch the last season of Game of Thrones, I checked out. I said I refused. I said I'm not doing it because I did not like where the show was going. I saw once they stopped the content because George R. he stopped writing. You know what I mean? So once they hit that and they had to start making up their own shit, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I object. And I didn't read the books, but just going off of like you said, I followed the lore enough. I went through so many videos, and like the same way I went through Metal Gear to get hyped up for that. Like when Phantom Pain came out, like I sat through every playthrough. I sat through every sort of like just lore thing to talk about the characters, and I got so wrapped up in that world. And I was like, okay, I could kind of see where they're going.
Yeah.
So I stopped watching it at the season 7. I should have stopped watching it before then. But my buddy just told me today that they fucking hold on, I don't want to ruin what he sent me. He said there's a fan rewrite of season 8 of Game of Thrones that was turned into a radio style play.
Huh.
So I gotta find it. It's somewhere out there because I want to give it a listen.
That'd be worth. Yeah, that'd be worth it. I didn't like people shit on it. It was kind of stupid that like, okay, spoilers for season 8 of Game of Thrones. If you haven't watched it at this point, like, too bad. I just hate the fact of how they just kind of like melt the throne, and it's like no one's gonna get it. Everyone sucks. Like that part. Like, fine, I get why people get mad about it. Like, whatever. It's a very it's a very well done show. Just following it through all those seasons. Was it the best episode of Game of Thrones? Like, absolutely not. Like, no, not by any stretch. But I think people overreact a lot when it comes to like television shows and music and anything that you can consume in any way, shape, or form. So it's like, yeah, is it blown out of proportion? Like, maybe. And it's like probably the same thing with Rings of Power. But I mean, who knows?
Oh yeah,
with
trust
Lord
me.
of the Rings,
there's so much negative. Like I was coming from that area too. I was like, before I got my head right, like I just was listening to all the negativity. So like like I said, I tried going into this with the best mindset I possibly could have. I was like, all right, let's see what this is going to be. Let's give it, I gave it, I had a low bar set, but it didn't even rise to meet that low bar. And I was like, oh, wow.
That sucks. I mean, hey, at least you gave it a try. It's one thing to just like be like, yeah, you know what, this sucks. I'm not even going to watch it. But it's another thing to like make your own opinion of it, because you might like it, like, or you might at least understand where people are coming from, and you can be like, that's an overreaction, or that's like a proper reaction, or that was an underreaction. So it's very similar with beer. Like, there's so much hype in beer because of labeling, and now it's easily distributed with everything. And that's like, a lot of times I've had beers that are like underrated, and I have beers that are just severely overrated. And yeah, it's like anything. So yeah, that's fucking, I got to see if I can find that season 8 like radio play style.
I definitely got to get my hands on that at some point. Throw it on the car on the ride to work. For sure. That's just going to be my new thing for the moment. But like I said, like I tried, I gave it a shot, and like I said, I could see that it's not for me, but it could be for someone out there. I have my extended editions. I still fucking my dick still shoots through the zipper of my pants whenever fucking King Theoden's Charge comes on. And on Return of the King, you know what I mean? Like, that's my fucking jam. And so I get it. That's not for everybody, and that wasn't for me, but that show could be for somebody. And if it gets them excited for the Lord of the Rings movies, then even better.
True.
Get the exposure that way.
The thing is too is like, Lord of the Rings falls in the same category as like Star Wars and Game of Thrones. It's these like massively like cult following. So like, would I expect season 1 of the show to be like amazing, like the best season of the show ever? Like, also no, like no good show has had their best season be season 1. I'll say fine. I won't be as absolute.
I only have one to correct you with that, but that's it. I only have one.
Yeah, like there's way more shows that have had shitty first seasons and then their second season being amazing, as opposed to the inverse. The one show that I can think of immediately was on Apple TV Plus called For All Mankind. It's about the space race from the 60s to the modern day. If like they kept putting like people on the moon. The first season sucked. Like the first 4 episodes, it was so slow until they started going to space. And I was like, this rips. And then the season 2 of that show was the best season 2 of any television show I've ever seen or read about in my life. I will die on that hill. It was better than The Sopranos season 2 like everything. It was so good. And we'll probably see this with the Rings of Power. Like we'll probably see the initial sort of like spark of this will die down, and people will be like, okay, it's fine. And then like the second season will come along. Hopefully they still do it, and it'll probably be better.
I'm pretty sure they already have 5 seasons in.
Yes.
Like in the thing, right? Didn't I think they have that written down?
Yeah, it was 5 seasons. Like, you hope that they do. They spent over $1 billion on this. You might as well just suffer through it, and it'll be. And like then in like 2 years, like people are gonna be like, oh yeah, this is the greatest show. It's like gonna be like The Boys, like whatever. Give it time.
The only correction I could have to you is the only time a season 1 was phenomenal was True Detective.
Oh yeah, great example.
True Detective season 1. That's the only thing I could beat you with, man. That's it. That's my only time I can put you in check. Season 1 of True Detective, hands down.
It really doesn't even count too because season 2 had
right,
different.
Exactly that. There was an anthology, so I mean, like it's kind of even on that. But still, though, it was the first time out of the gate versus the second time out. So.
You're right.
I mean, just watched, that little bit of a thing, I'll take it.
You're right. Yeah, I watched like the first 2. I gave it 2 episodes, and I was like, I am so confused. What the fuck's going on here? I have no idea what's happening here. And I was like,
all of it.
That's tough. That I couldn't do it. I might never do it, but you know what? That's you're a larger person than I am for doing that. So
I didn't feel like it. I felt like it was definitely something I had to swallow. It was definitely not an enjoyable experience. Season 2 for sure.
Yeah,
season 1, man, was the shit.
So fucking good, dude. I totally agree. Cool. That was it.
I might watch that later on. Who gives it? Fucking, I'll go back to that.
Probably gonna watch him Better Call Saul right now with the missus, or and then do that and go to bed. I don't know.
Hell yeah, man! I hear you. We're getting older, bro. We're getting older. We ain't kids no more. And fun fact for everyone out there, I've known Tyler for like Jesus Christ, like as long as you've been with
almost 10 years, 8-9 years.
Yeah. Oh my God. So that's the same amount of time I knew SETI too. That's funny. So
yeah, it's pretty nuts, man. We're getting up there. We're getting up there in age. You're right. So I don't feel it though. I feel that's fucking
good.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I got that recent scare, but I'm getting better. I'm getting back up there on the horse.
Yeah, no, you'll be all right. You have time to correct yourself, so you'll be all right.
Hell yeah, brother. Man. But that's going to be where we close for tonight, guys, and hopefully we can get SETI back on at some point. We'll finish up with our philosophy and our last roll. But thank you guys again. Jeff was great to have on. Anytime you guys want to do another podcast where we collaborate, like I'm down for it. And I'll hit you up and we'll talk about how we could share this, what platform, if you want to take the episode for your part, you can both put it out. Who cares? We'll figure it out.
No, yeah, it's totally, do with it as you will. We definitely want to have you on as like a separate episode. Like once we get through like my wedding and get like kind of the fall into it, because the year's going to slow down a lot come October 2nd, the day after my wedding. So we definitely want to have you on as your own show, like you and SETI, and have some fun there. Follow us on social media, TikTok and Instagram at 1056 PODCAST. Mr. Speck, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having Jeff and I on.
Thank you, good sir. No, thank you. I appreciate you guys so much for doing this, and I can't wait to do it again. So everyone have a good night. You'll hear SETI and us in a little bit. So love you. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll just clap that. I'll give you a mark.
All right, guys, we are back.
Hello, boomers.
Yeah, SETI's back with us, folks. We had some technical difficulties, but we tried.
Serious technical difficulties, but
hey, shit happens, bro. They weren't upset about it. They're podcasters too. Like we understand shit happens. This is a complicated, tricky game, especially for two guys that don't belong to some big fucking corporate organization that's got a gun pointed at the back of our head, like, do it right, you motherfuckers. Like, we're doing what we got to do.
Yeah, we're learning as we go, and sometimes you just have these tech hiccups. There's really not much you can do about it when the internet goes out. So yeah.
Hey, I'm just rolling with the punches, folks. Rolling with the punches. You're gonna see how human we are, and that's just how it's gonna go.
For sure.
But I just finished up with T talking about we did our story. We were talking about he talked about a beer video game that's coming out.
Right.
It's about the brewing experience, and he was like, it's it's a simulator. You know how they have like farming
simulator, simulator. That's so funny, dude.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And because my friend sent me that as like the trailer for it. I think it was actually Pick who sent it to me, and then I fucking sent it to my buddy Cam, who he runs Spirit Brewing. Shout out to Spirit again, and I sent it to Tyler because I wanted to see their 2 inputs on it. And Cam and I were like, we had a little optimistic outlook with it, and we were like, okay, this might be something. Because like I said, I was talking about ESPN, that video game for the football, ESPN NFL 2K5, and how that taught me football. And so this could be like a thing where, yeah, you're not going to get the whole, because, you know, the whole part of brewing is tasting what you're fucking having at the end. And since you can't have that, but it's like, all right, you can still like get the fundamentals down. You can still, if there's someone who wants to get into it and they don't have the money for all that stuff yet, they could
still learn,
maybe see what it's all about. Yeah, you know,
still
it's all
learn.
about that. They could still
those
learn
simulators are fucking crazy. I was actually having a conversation with Dom about it earlier, about how people really are spending a lot of time in these different simulation games and really getting a lot of enjoyment out of them, like trucking simulator, farm simulator. Then you
Mechanic
got
simulator.
Yeah, there was the one that surprised me the most was, this is what I told Dominique. I was like, Power Wash Simulator was apparently a very, very good game. People were
I could see people like very therapeutically cleaning windows,
dude,
or cleaning. You know what I mean? Like
sidewalks, siding, windows. They were into it. They're like, this game is zen as fuck, dude. Like, just watching things get clean, and you could upgrade the nozzles on the fucking power washers. Like, dude, what the hell? Are you serious? This is a good game. Like,
hey, shout out to my girl Alex. All right, I went to her house one day, and she's a fiance to my buddy Dave. And I was showing up, and I was like, "Hey, what are you guys playing?" Blah, blah, blah. She was downstairs just hanging out. She was. I think she just got done with doing classwork or something like that. And she was fucking playing Realtor Simulator, where she has to go in, get a property, clean it out, like fucking like flip it, renovate it, type deal, and then fucking relist it and shit. And I was like, wow, like that's a thing. She's like, yeah. And I was like, holy shit, like they got shit for anything these days now. So
my whole thing was like, sim games are fun. They are fun, but I lean more towards like Sim City, The Sims, and then Flight Simulator. That's something that I've played around and fucked with before. And then my whole thing is like sim racing. So then you get into Gran Turismo and cars. And, these really like,
I mean, GTA, man. You were so into those races in GTA. Like,
yeah, I remember you were
constantly making tracks.
Yes, I loved it, and it's like,
hey man, want to hop on test out this track? And I wasn't a racer, so I was like, fuck it, I'll hop. I was like, we'll see what this is all about.
Yeah, I remember some interesting ones, but yeah, the sim racing and Flight Simulator was what got me into the shit. But yeah, there's a lot of simulated bullshit out there. I'm surprised but people are making money off of it, so there's a market for it. So more power.
Yeah, people love doing it. Exactly that. Fucking more power to you. We're happy for you, folks. For sure. So yeah, now we're just finishing up the rest of this episode, Seti. Boss man, we got one D20 left to roll, and then we got to talk about our philosophy at the end. So
all right,
Jeff had to dip out early, and T was also, we're experiencing some difficulties, but now we're back at it.
I just want to thank those guys for coming on. You really, really helping us out here, giving us that exposure by coming on a different cast. And
we are so grateful to have them on, and and they want to have us on too, man. So at one point we're gonna be able to hop over on their end and figure out, our shit. So
yeah, I'm sorry I missed them.
They want to interview us. So
I'm so sorry I missed them, because we were having a great convo about the gaming shit, man. Like, that was fun. That was really fun until my internet crapped out.
So I know you've been keeping with the D20 sheet. So we did 9, and then we did 4. We covered Dream Job.
Dream Job. Yeah, that must have been a fun one. I mean, everyone already knows my dream job. Fucking Todd Howard's got my job right now, but I'm coming for you, Todd. But anyway,
yeah, and I told them I want to be a knight, so we already covered that. So it's stuff that they haven't heard before, but everyone else has heard before. So I couldn't think of anything else I want to do.
A knight, anyway. Being a podcast. I'm not gonna go there.
You know that. I want to be a knight. That's my dream job, to
Is
go
that
fight
a job,
in the
motherfucker. Anyway,
to go fight in the pit. Yeah, man, that's what I want to do. Anywho, so let's roll it up. See what we get for this time around. Now we have 18.
Yo, I like this one.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
Leveling up in real life. Leveling up in real life. This one's about skills.
And not even that. We could tie that in with philosophy too. We could kill two birds with one stone in this little.
Bro, we're about
segment,
we're about to kill it because yeah, you're right. This is gonna slide right into some very positive shit about improvement, self-improvement. But yeah, so you want to go first and talk about a skill or ability that you have improved over time, or something that you can do that no one else can do, or how or maybe just a story about a situation you were in and you just felt like you knew you had improved. You knew your skill had improved. Like,
so yeah, this is the part where I always, you know, when I have so many cliche or just typical, oh, this is the bullshit, blah blah blah. But
it's not bullshit.
I don't
Man.
know, like I was living my life before thinking that I had no power, that I was just doing whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Just wherever life is throwing me, there's, I'm supposed to do this, blah, 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 but like coming out of that fucking depression, I realized that I'm not an NPC anymore.
Wow. I like this, man. I really do like where this is going.
And I'm kind of like, every time, like, just like with this experience right now with fucking up the whole audio thing and trying to figure out, that's just a problem that I'm gonna learn how to solve and correct and fix to level up so we become a better podcast.
Look at that shit, dude.
Fucking picking up all the sword manuals that I got and then actually going out and fucking learn. And I never, I always looked at swordsmanship from like the movie, from like, I did a little bit of Tang Shido growing up, so I got my black belt in that, and we didn't focus on sword or anything like that at the time. We're always doing just the bullshit, just do your bows, be respectful, do the sparring. Well, they didn't focus on weapon combat. And so like I knew nothing about sword combat other than like, and just even playing video games now, I'm like, okay, wow, like a game I used to thought was unrealistic, like Kingdom Come Deliverance, I'm like, it's a little bit more realistic than I thought it was. Or For Honor type deal where it's like, yeah, like you can't leave your body exposed. Like so many of these swings, you're just leaving your body fucking open. You always gotta fucking leave your point towards it. You know what I mean? Like I know what's important now for swordplay. Fucking throwing a lasso, shooting a gun, like everything that I've been learning and like failing and succeeding and, you know what I mean, like and fucking up with and getting better. Like I've been realizing it more, and I really am leveling up every time I do different shit, stuff that I don't like, stuff that I never thought, and it's really dumb or cliche, whatever the fuck to say, but at this point in time, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my whole existence after leaving my depression has been me leveling up.
No, dude, I mean,
me leaving that tutorial city, like I always think of myself as like I was the biggest fish in my small pond, so I was kind of cool with just existing as that big fish in a small pond. But then when you put me into the ocean, and there's so much more bigger fish out there, and there's so much more things that could fuck me up that I could learn from, that I don't know and realize that I don't know, because like I said, I was in that small pond. I knew the whole ins and outs of that pond. I knew like the back of my hand, so I kind of got comfortable being in that environment.
Yeah, I was about to say you're talking
I never
about
had to
your
get
comfort
better.
zone. You're talking about your comfort
I never
zone.
had to get better, and now I realize that no, life is being uncomfortable. Life is doing shit you don't want to do and getting better at it.
Well, I would say
not what you don't want to do, but just doing stuff you never thought you could do.
Yeah, there we go. Not what you don't want to do. Maybe
Right.
what you thought you couldn't do. Because, doing shit
like,
you don't want to do sucks.
Right, but there's some things that are necessary, like fucking wash the dishes. I fucking made the mess, wash the fucking dishes, ass. You know what I mean? Like, just little shit like that, Like,
yeah, but that's more of like a cost-benefit analysis. Like, I like clean dishes. I don't want to eat this food off of a dirty plate, so I'm going to have to clean it type shit. Like, that's more of like, maintenance type shit. Like, obviously, hygiene.
Right, but maintenance is important.
Maintenance is important. But challenging yourself to do something you didn't think you could. Yeah, so challenging yourself, always a good thing to do. And that is all I have to say about that.
Oh, God. Yeah, or That's about it.
Guys, we are having a rough time today.
Yeah, this is not the best time to be recording a podcast, I guess, for anybody.
Shit.
But we're doing it.
Exactly.
We don't fucking care, because what we were talking about before we got cut off yet again by another act of God, it was, we're spiting you, motherfucker. This is how
powering
we're doing
through, challenging yourself,
leveling up in real life. And
hell yeah.
And I think I was getting the point of, like, it wasn't that I was doing something I didn't want to do. It was I'm doing something that I'm not comfortable doing. I think that's what the gist of it was. We're doing something that we're not comfortable doing, and because it helps us become better people.
It does. It is. I mean, and like you said, your whole point of, like, you feel like you leveled up when you came out of this funk. And the only way you could do that is by coming out of that comfort zone. So I think that is going to resonate with a lot of people, because I feel like sometimes, I mean, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but sometimes we do get comfortable feeling shitty about things sometimes, like, you get used to being, who you are. You think this is just who I am. I can't change type of shit, and you just kind of take solace in that and be like, whatever, it's just whatever. And you never look up, and you never see what opportunities are there for you to take. So yeah, I get it, my dude. I do understand for sure.
This is going to sound very dumb, but I'm going to say it. When I was in college and I was in the middle of that the death throes of it, I guess, there's actually a point where I was happy. And I thought to myself, that ain't normal.
Oh, no.
I had a brief part of normal happiness, and I kind of, I went to go see one of the counselors on grounds, thinking, like, hey, like, I'm used to feeling like shit, but I'm happy. What's going on? Like, I was kind of getting myself checked out for feeling good or whatever the fuck that. So it was, like you said, we kind of get comfortable in the misery. Like,
sometimes.
That whole thing
not
of,
everyone.
I hope not everyone, but Jesus Christ, I'm very, that statement resonated with me. Holy shit. Like, yeah, I really did, like, just kind of accept it. Like, this is how it is. Like, okay, this is just, I'm supposed to be a miserable fuck. And I was.
But you leveled up, my dude.
Now. Holy Jesus, thank fucking God. But back then, holy shit. Yeah, no, I was really comfortable. Really fucking comfortable.
All right,
a miserable sack. But yeah, not anymore, folks.
I'm glad you came out of it, man. I really am. I'm glad you're trying new things, and I'm glad we're powering through some shit now to try to get to the good,
Yes, this is going to be the roughest podcast to date. But guess what, folks? We're learning. We're learning, and we're going to be better. We found out that we can't record video and audio at the same time right now, so we're just going to have to figure out that. And, Seti and I are kind of used to that, though, because we started off screaming at each other on PlayStation, not seeing each other's faces. So,
yeah, it worked out.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get through
this.
It's
like a phone. It's like a conference call. It's like a phone conversation. It's fine. Like, I don't really see as long as there's no lag, everything should be good.
Yeah, and there's no lag thus far. You haven't been
good shit
doing that. So yeah, we're coming out of that. And so I guess that ties in with the philosophy, folks, of shit's gonna happen in life. And really, what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna just throw up your hands and say, well, this isn't fucking worth it, and just scrap the whole thing? Or are you gonna be like, no, I gotta make something, I gotta play the fucking hand I'm dealt. The hand that I'm dealt with this was, we got a fucked up 2/3 of the podcast, and I gotta do this. But god damn it, I'm gonna play this fucking hand.
For sure.
Because it's the only option I got, folks. Like, we can't fucking be fake and remake a moment. You know what I mean? Like, we can't, Goose was joking about that before. Like, oh, well, you want me to do the whole thing with my dad? I can't pull that up.
No, you can't.
I know he was joking, but it was true, though. Like, you can't try to recapture moments like that.
And you know what? I gotta say this. If we got to start looking at failure as a learning experience, because too many times people see failure as you know, that's it. Like this just wasn't meant to be, and I gotta walk away now because it didn't work out the very first time I tried to fucking do something. Like that's the kind of mentality that's gonna keep you from doing anything ever for any reason. So,
and not even that, listening to people that tell you you're not because it didn't work out for them. It's like, yeah, well, it's them.
right?
They don't have your shit. They don't have
Exactly.
your ideas, your passion, your experience to fucking look at it from a different viewpoint. So when people like put up those obstacles in front of you, like that's just them trying to be like, oh well, it didn't work out for me. But if they're a person like, it's for instance me now, I'm not gonna ever tell someone to give up. I'm gonna be like, just keep fucking doing it, like,
Yeah.
because I had to learn that I had to keep doing it, and so yeah, I'm as much as this is gonna be a pain in the dick, I'm happy that I'm gonna have the chance to do right by
Challenge
it.
yourself.
And
How to
yeah,
challenge yourself.
I'm ready for it now. Like, what's the whole thing?
Wait a
I heard
minute.
what?
Did I do my fucking level up? Did I say what leveled me up?
No, we didn't get to you yet.
Oh shit. All right. Well, sorry, I cut you off. Continue.
Oh no, I mean we could get to. I was just trying to say like what you were getting at before, where it's like don't quit. That it's this or die. You know what I mean? It's that whole thing of like what was it? Someone was saying. Oh fuck! I think I forgot the quote now. It was. It'll come up to me again at some point. But we'll go into your level up story.
Right, my level up story. My goodness. I mean, this is gonna sound really cheesy and really bad, but I feel like, you talk about coming out of your comfort zone. And I think that is a real level up situation because there was a time in my life when I was in a dark place as well. And, my shit didn't really manifest with depression. It was more kind of like a fuck you attitude instead with a lot of shit. But what brought me out of it was Buddhism. For some reason, I really did have that whole like spiritual renaissance, that fucking awakening, that activation of your self type of fucking moment. That really did feel like a level up to me because it came with so much clarity and it gave me so much energy that it really did, honest to God, feel like a level up. I was just like, I'm a better person now. Like, and it wasn't like this kind of smug satisfaction with it. It was more like, no, I'm sharper. I've been sharpened. I've been honed. My edge has been honed. I'm in the moment and I can feel these moments and I can like express myself in a different way now than I could before. And it just really, I felt it. I fucking felt it. And after, ever since then, I can always kind of like, lean back on the shit that I learned. And, it just keeps my mind clear. It keeps me sane. It keeps me, it keeps me aware of a lot of shit. And I think a lot of the mindset that I have now, it was waiting for a good idea so that I can move on it. But, a lot of the mindset that I have now is just that patience, trying to like cultivate patience, trying to cultivate, the ability to speak on things and express yourself, like being yourself and comfortable with yourself, but at the same time, like, it just felt like a level up at that time. So the book that I read was the Lotus Sutra. That was the one that did it. I read the Lotus Sutra, and that was one of those books where I finished the last page and I was just like, man, what the fuck just happened? And I fucking read it again, like immediately afterwards. And then I finished it the second time. I was just like, dude, how did they know? And then I just, started noticing certain things and understanding things in a different way. And it just really just cleared space in my head to kind of like, be more observant, be more mindful. And it really did feel like a level up. Like I said, I felt like I was improved, like I had a tune up or something. And it's like I can be more of myself than I was before. And so, yeah, that's a level up for sure.
I stand by that. So I have a couple questions for you because this is
Sure.
something that we never really talked theological shit before, or just previous religious experience. I mean, mine you know of because the little Catholic boy in me, type deal. So for you, were you coming from a specific faith and then you lost it and then you found Buddhism, or was it like just an instant transfer between one to the other, or was there a like how did that? How old were you when this was all going on? What was going on in your life
Okay,
then?
spiritual journey is, that's, I guess that's what we can call it, the spiritual journey. My spiritual journey is, my mom used to drag us to church
Mm-hmm.
for about a year, maybe 2 years. And one day I was in church and we were singing, and I was just like, wait a minute. This isn't right. I was 9 years old. So there's 9-year-old me in some dress pants and a fucking dress shirt, holding a Bible. Everyone's around me singing, and I'm like, man, this is a fucking cult, dog. I need to get out of here. 9 years old, and I just lost it all. I was like, no fucking way, this shit ain't real. And yeah, I told my mom, and she kind of snaps like, oh my God,
Right?
you're a heathen, you're a pagan.
Yeah, trust me, man. I've got plenty of those looks when I was in church. And when I was like nodding off, or I would actually love going to church with my stepdad, John. Everyone the man who fucking helped do a lot of shit for this podcast and for my life. I really loved going with him because he knew that I didn't want to be there, so we would just make it fun. We would take bets on how long the howling was going to be. We kind of like just bullshit with each other to make it bearable because we knew that I had to go because one, I was in Catholic school, and two, because my mother would just rip us a new one if we fucking.
Right.
And there was a couple times too where Johnny Boy and I we would skip out. We would just look and be like, "Do you want to just tell her we went?" Yeah, and then we fucking went to friendlies or something like that. Like, I fucking sip with that as the hardcore. I wasn't 9, but I was still young enough to just be like, "Yeah, no, as a kid, this isn't for me. Like, I don't want to."
So yeah, then around the age of, I would say maybe somewhere in my mid-20s. I'm 37 right now, by the way, for people listening that want to know. Yeah, somewhere in my mid-20s, I just I started, getting curious about different things, and I was really trying to figure out my own mind, why I do the things I do, why other people do the things they do, getting curious about psychology and philosophy. And yeah, that led me to some people talking about the mind and how you can better control it and how you can better yourself and experiences you can have in your own mind. And that led directly to Buddhism. So after that, after reading the Lotus Sutra, it was just like, shit. Well, this is a good idea. Like I really appreciate Buddhism because it's not necessarily a religion. It's more of a philosophy. I mean, some people do practice as if it was a religion. I'm not one of those people. Some people see the Buddha as a god. I'm not one of those people. So I'm a non-deistic Buddhist. And yeah, it's like I just said, after reading, it's just like, how do you argue with this? Like, this is just good to be mindful and good to be good to people. And, it's good to be aware of yourself and others. And, it just seems like a really good idea to help people and be good. Like I mean, people sat down for thousands and thousands of years before us and figured out like, hey, don't be a dick. Like, and they just kind of wrote it all down. And it was like, all right, this is fair. This is fair. And this is all right with me. So,
Yeah, not to. Well, I guess fuck it. It's our podcast, right? I'm gonna take it to that level. Just coming from that Catholic faith of anyone that disagrees with us is considered a heretic.
Oh yeah,
type deal. It's not very open to different thoughts and ideologies, even if they're preaching about like we need to do good, y'all. But like it's not in the same vernacular, the same type of shit as the way that we have it in the Bible or whatever the hell like that. And we refuse to look at all the stuff in the Bible and say how this is not relevant, this is blah blah. Don't listen to that, because for me, when you start labeling shit, and that's why maybe that's how I see that viewpoint of like those of the less intelligent go to faith for some sort of thing because it's convenient. And it's also like they have these set established rules. If you go along this, so it's really it's a good foundation to have.
Sure,
but I feel like that's it. It's a foundation.
Especially, I will say the community aspect of it. Like, there aren't many other places in society right now besides like if you like sports, where a big group of people can get together and say, "Hey, let's not harm each other," because politics is so divisive. I would not consider that a place where
Yeah, no, not at all.
Not at all. So religion is really one of the only places where you can go and just encounter people being normal, like in a way. Because yeah, like you said, once you get outside of that kind of vernacular and start talking about other people's beliefs, then it becomes like you're going to hell. Like, but other than that,
it starts getting a little dicey after that.
Yeah. But as long as you're all on the same page, it's like Jesus, and then you're after that, it's like whatever. We're all cool, buddy. We're all good here. And it's like, okay, you just get to encounter people as they are in their lives, and they just kind of open up. And it doesn't take that that kind of lengthy encounters with different people over different spans of time and different situations to try to get to know them, because it's like an instant pass. Like, you're good, come in, let's go. Like, I know you got Christ in your heart, buddy. Let's have a beer. Like, it's just you just instantly get the pass, which, like I said, that's one good aspect of it that I think is the community aspect.
Right. And here's the thing, I'm not, don't take this away, folks. I'm trying to bash religion on over the head, because like I'm trying to say that it is a very good base, because I wouldn't be half the man I am today if not for having to sit through a lot of those lectures and having to have that whole analysis of good versus evil. Because like I'm having that fight every day. You know what I mean? So it's like I need a lot of that. You look. The leftovers part wasn't for you when it had the religious overtones, this and that, but like it spoke to people like me.
Of course.
And I had that foundation already to kind of like be able to withstand the force of what I mean of when your world gets uprooted and you have to figure out what are you standing on. And so yeah, religion's good to have as that cornerstone, but if you're gonna level up, as we're trying to get at in life, I feel like you can't just stop it there. Like I feel like a lot of times you could have the faith and everything, but when it comes to especially the way the world's changing these days and how everyone's more stuff is coming to light, and how we're trying to figure out the human existence and all that shit like that, and
the human experience, how we can all get along, how we can share
what part's history, what part's fake, what part's real, what part's this science, fucking blah blah blah, whatever bullshit's going on. Yeah, it's more to it than that or actually it's not even all to it. That it's just more so along the lines of boil it down to be good to each other, which is what religion taught us, but then also step out of that religious experience and listen to different ideas. Listen to be open, be good to others, and be accepting of a lot of shit. And I'm not saying like because I covered in the story today, you missed that part where I was talking about how I was trying to give the Rings of Power a chance, and I was it just wasn't for me.
But you gave it a chance though.
But I gave it a chance, and
see,
and that's it. Like, you don't gotta agree with it, but don't cast it out and condemn people and fucking call people, because it's like you never know what the fuck. Like,
no, you're not wrong, dude. Look, just like I gave Leftovers a chance, it wasn't 100% for me. Like, but I'm not knocking that you like it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly that.
Yeah,
exactly that. It could be for you, and like and talking with Tyler too about the whole the beer world, whiskey world type deal. It's I can understand. I could recommend something to somebody and they may not like it, and that's fine. And I could listen to someone talk, and their words, their thoughts, their opinions. That's them. It's not. Who am I to try to change them to convert them to the good news of the Lord?
Oh, wow.
It's like I feel like that's like they of course the church, as we all know, is a giant fucking business, so they do a lot of their shit for business purposes too.
Jeez, don't get me
To try to
started,
thrive
bro.
and survive. But I mean, like, I don't know. I'm trying to like I said, I'm hoping that people don't hear this and they just be like, fuck church, fuck this. But it's like, at least when you go right, some people, you might want to have them do that because it might be a good thing for them. They might be stuck in that vicious cycle. But I'm just saying to where it's like, look at it for what it is. Be able to accept that, okay, like, I gave it a chance. It wasn't for me.
There you go.
We shouldn't be going out. Okay, I'm not a Catholic anymore. Now let me go and behead every Catholic that I fucking see. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the way to go about it.
I'm
folks.
sure
Like,
the Inquisition was a lot of fun, but it was probably not the right way to go. Like,
yeah, don't follow in them footsteps, folks. Don't do that. Like, we're trying to turn that corner where it's like they could have those thoughts, and they could just have them. That's fine, as long as they're not trying to shove them down my fucking throat, and as long as they're not trying to fucking do it, then cool. Let them do what they want to do. Like that's where I'm at these days. Where like I kind of just don't care enough, and maybe that's part of getting older too. Is like I just don't care enough anymore.
Tell me about it,
dude. To try to have these. Why do I gotta prove to you that I have to fucking look at the world a certain way? Why do I have to waste
time? You realize how, as you get older, your time becomes more precious. When you're young, you'll waste time on the stupidest fucking you'll play in the dirt, for Christ's sake, okay? Like, you don't know anything. You have no idea how precious time is, okay? You will literally poke a worm with a stick from sun up till sundown and sleep like a baby. When you get older, you realize, okay, I should do something. Like, I should try to do something. You don't really know what that is, but that inkling is going to come. And whether it be, maybe I should have a kid, or maybe I should start a career, maybe I should start a business, or maybe I should, like, whatever it is, it's gonna come, because your time becomes precious, and what you do starts to matter. You realize that you have the ability, you have reach, you're here now, and you have control over yourself, and you can take action, and you're gonna start feeling that urgency, boy. Like, that's what I think. That's a better message about what adulthood really is the the recognition that shit, time is real, and I gotta do something. Like, I mean, whatever that is.
You know how much time we spent playing GTA, just helping people out, just doing this when we could have been doing it in the real world.
I know, like, yeah, that is completely 100% accurate. And look, I still play GTA, but I don't put.
So do I. Exactly that. I feel like that's the reason why I'm using air quotes here, retiring from gaming, because like my time now, I'm trying to see. It's like, okay, I suck now. Like, I'm not as good as I'm not as fast. I'm not as accurate. I'm not as I'm not as crazy as I used to be. And two, like I'm not. It's not worth it anymore. Because, like I said, I could be spending that time taking care of Mabel. I could be spending that time helping out my grandma. I could be spending that time, with the people that I love and care about. I could be spending that time fucking talking with you on this podcast, trying to improve the world. Like, there's different things. Yeah, I'm not out there doing shit right now, but right now I'm kind of doing shit.
Hey, but you know what though? You were. Remember your little dinner with the community?
Yeah, no, now I am. Yeah, because like I said, I'm realizing that that's what's more important versus sitting here organizing a fucking car meet. You know what I mean, for the 9,000th time. You know what I mean? Like,
oh wow.
Next to Los Santos Customs, you know what I mean? Like, but right now it's like, and like I said, kids, like, if you want to play your video games, that's fine. Learn the lessons that you might not learn by fucking being able to, I don't know, do the crazy shit in the real world. Like, skydiving, where the fuck, jumping out of a fucking fighter jet while your buddies are screaming at you or whatever the fuck. Like have that fun while you can, because when you're a kid, you don't have the freedoms, the opportunities. You don't have a car, you don't have your money. You know what I mean? Like you don't have your
Right.
a real access to shit. So yeah, so when you don't have that stuff, yeah, it's cool. Spend your time, play video games, have fun. It's all you can do when you're a kid. But then once you start hitting that point where you're surpassing your online avatar, where it's like, yeah, like I am more skilled, definitely, like Tyler was saying earlier, like more finer tuned movements, this and that. You know what I mean? That I'm more skilled now. I have the means, the opportunity. I have the
You've
education.
leveled up.
I have all that shit in real life. So it's like, okay, let me start surpassing that. Let me be. That's why I said, like, I'm gonna get that chance to be a knight like I want to in the video games. Like, I'm gonna get that chance because I'm gonna make sure it happens.
Exactly. Man, I'm so glad that we did this, because we're just like on the same page about this kind of like self-improvement, positivity, and just trying to get we just got that fucking motivation now. And it's nice because, and again, I'm encountering a lot of people like this these days, because like I'm in this entrepreneur space. I'm wait, I didn't tell everyone here, the audience, that I got into beta. I don't think I did that, did I?
I don't think you did.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to talk about it until today, so I was kind of holding off because they're like, don't tell anyone until it's officially announced by us. And that happened today. So
yeah.
I got into Beta MN. Shout out to Beta. They are probably the biggest accelerator in Minnesota for small businesses. So like I'm encountering a lot of like highly motivated people right now who are like, dedicated to making their businesses a reality, putting their ideas on paper, talking to lawyers, talking to bankers, trying to, talking to investors, trying to figure out how to get this shit done, trying to build teams from, college students, trying to, they're trying, just like we are. They're trying to change their worlds. And, we should all, I think we could learn from, I think everyone should try to start something, a movement, a business, a band, anything. Try to start something and see what happens. You'll be surprised where it goes. I think you'll be surprised at the support you get. You'll be surprised at the people you meet along the way. And yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna say this. We were talking about how video games kind of like wasting your time and shit. And at the beginning, it's fun and you don't really aren't too concerned with your time. But when I first started playing GTA, I started Rise. And at that
that's
time,
how we met.
Yeah. And at that time, I did kind of feel like I'm starting something, but GTA is a toxic fucking hellhole, so it was not.
We learned quick.
Yeah. Oh shit! But yeah, at that time, I did feel like I was starting something. Like, oh man, it's gonna be us versus Rockstar. Like, we're gonna unite the players, and we're gonna have this whole like totally different mindset that's gonna change the game. Like, we're not gonna do what they want. We're not gonna play by their rules. And then you get fucking sniped out of a fucking helicopter. You're like, wait, what?
I was probably doing the shooting. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So maybe that wasn't the best place to start something, but
Well, I mean, if you look at it too, though, it was kind of the origin of this, if you think about it.
For sure.
In a sort of way, like a lot of lessons we were able to take from it. Like, it wasn't all for nothing, if you think about it. Like, if you think about it, like, yeah, it was a waste of our physical time where we could have been doing shit for other stuff, but the bond that we built over that and the lessons that we could take from, like, but like you said, we weren't just sitting around fucking around doing bullshit. You were trying to build something. You were trying to bring everyone in on it. You were trying to help. We were trying to all help each other out. So even in that little space, Seti, like, you were able to create that type of environment to where we could lay the foundation for what eventually this podcast, your entrepreneurial business. I mean, like, you're just that it all needed to happen. I mean, like it wasn't a wasted moment. I feel like that was a moment that
you might be right about that. Just another stepping stone.
Yeah, it was just something else. It was part of what you needed to do to level up. You know, that was us fucking around the tutorial. You know, trying to get our grips on everything, and now we're using the same lessons and the same type of shit. Because, like you said, if and when the whole shit blows up, and how did it work in Rise? You were the one giving the speeches. I was behind you with a rifle, making sure no one was gonna kill you. You know what I mean? Like. That's how it always was, man. I always had that look out for you type mentality, and so I in my own way, I'm gonna be able to do that again. So hopefully,
nice. No, it's gonna happen, dude. Don't worry. I'm being diligent, very diligent. I'm harassing people basically. Like I am harassing people, and I'm in the right spot to harass people. So I mean, I'm sorry to kind of hijack this and just talk about what the fuck I'm doing, but the program I'm in, the director of the program, he's like, I like Founder. I mean, keep in mind, this dude has hundreds of millions of dollars just, languishing on some offshore account somewhere in the Cayman Islands, untaxed, untouched. But he's like, yeah, I love entrepreneurs because they're shameless askers. They'll ask for fucking anything, like the biggest asks. Like, either they'll ask you for a shit ton of money or to try to make some impossible fucking thing happen. But I love it because, they start these businesses and I get to invest in them and make a shit ton of money. So, like, I don't know. I feel like, yes, I have become that kind of like shameless asker, trying to get people to do shit for me and trying to build this fucking thing and make it happen. So it's gonna happen because I'm gonna ask for every fucking thing. Like, no, I need this. I need this. I need computers. I need a building. Okay, I'm gonna need a limo, a helicopter. Like, I'm gonna go nuts and see if they'll fucking let me do what I want to do.
well, I don't know about any of that stuff, but
Nah, bitch, I need a limo. What the fuck you mean? I ain't gonna pull up to someplace. No, I need it all. I'm asking for it. I don't give a fuck. Just put me in, plug me in. I don't want to remember nothing. Just put me back into the fucking machine, all right?
Well, I don't know if that's the right message to give to people. Because I'm trying to bust people out of that machine. I'm trying to
I'm building a new machine, motherfucker.
That's right. We gotta once the regime change happens, right? Then we can start getting back into the water. It'll be safe again.
Yeah, shit, exactly.
But for now, get the fuck out of the water, fuck.
Oh shit.
Well, no, just for the sake of so we're not jerking ourselves off the whole rest of the fucking podcast, but we definitely gone through some shit and we haven't quit and we come out stronger for it. And it's if I'm gonna try to end the podcast, well, we also before I do that, I definitely want to announce our winner for the for that.
Yeah, it's that time.
Just like I said, let's stop jerking each other off for that. So I scoured, folks. I went on all the socials that I could find. TikTok is still being a bitch.
So wait, first let me ask you, what is the gift card this week?
This week, so last week it was $10 PSN.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure this week we $10 Xbox.
Fair enough.
Xbox gift card, or it'll be a $10 thing. Like if you don't have an Xbox, just
pay it forward.
Let me know.
Pay it forward.
Or pay it forward, whatever you want to do.
Pay it forward, dude. Like we're trying to just do good here. So if you can't use it, give it to someone who can.
Okay, so this week, like I said, I scoured. I was able to get people from the Instagrams, the Twitters, the YouTubes, I don't think we got. I couldn't figure out Facebook, how to figure out how many people were in the group or whatever the fuck like that. But or I think I was able to get a few. So anywho, I was able to.
Pages might be private. I don't know.
Yeah, shit was going on, but I was able to scour and I was able to get a good number of folks here, and so I'm gonna.
Who is the winner?
Yeah, time to hit the RNG and see what we got going on. And
oh wait, are you using that RNG app to pick?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Look at that one app. Jesus Christ.
Right? I mean, it helps. Like,
Dude, you plugged it and now you're using it again. I mean, yeah.
I mean, shamelessly.
All right, so this week's winner
We got,
is
this week, looking at the chart, James Marr is our winner. James Marr, I believe he was from... I forgot, so I'll scour the word. We're working a work in progress. I'll figure it out for who. But James Marr, if you're listening, buddy, like I said, it's a $10 gift card for Xbox,
Yeah.
whatever the hell they do, because I'm not an Xbox person. But there you go, buddy.
James.
You got $10. If you could use it, great. If you can't, do what you want with it. It's yours now. So I'm going to make sure to figure out how to get that. If you're listening, please, I'm going to direct message you on whatever the hell we got you on. But congratulations, buddy. You won this week. So, and
you know what? I really like that you expanded the pool from, just Twitter to all of our followers. I think that was really great of you. Yeah, so that was a really good idea, bro. Big ups to you, because that was good. It really did, show that we're looking at our whole community and trying to bring everybody in. That was a really good idea. So
yeah. I kind of just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do this the best way I can, so because I was worried. I was getting worried. I was like, we're not getting feedback. I was hoping to look for there, and you were just like, and you were telling me about the Twitter, and I was like, okay, well, what else do we got? So I just went through all of them, and I was like, oh, okay, let's do it.
Good idea.
If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it that way. So
yes,
congratulations,
guys,
James.
Sign up for our shit, because we are giving away podcasts. We love our audience and we want to give back. So yeah, do that
for sure, guys.
Tell your friends.
Like I said, just the more people that get on this, the bigger we're gonna be able to get one day, and hopefully, we spread, we get the views. Because I don't know how. I just learned about how this algorithm thing fucking works, and so it's like thousands. We need thousands of listeners to even make somewhat of a profit off of stuff for advertising, for this, for that. If we're gonna get in sponsors for whatever the fuck we get. So It takes thousands. And right now we just hit 200 listens total. So this is great for total listens, but that's within the, spread across how many podcasts we got. So and we're also, Spain's coming in now. We got parts of Sweden, so thank you guys for hopping in on this.
Hello, Spain. Hello, Sweden.
And Brussels, shout out like I did last time. So yeah,
international baby.
Right. Thank you guys. Help spread this out. We want to get big so we can help out more people, and that's it. Let's share it. Share as much as you can. Listen to the latest episodes. Get the traffic up. Search for it. Spread it around. That's how it all works. Once the computers are seeing this thing fucking getting shot back and forth, it's gonna start doing it itself. So please, folks, we can't stress this enough. We only get big with your help.
Yeah, and the bigger we get, the bigger the gifts will become.
We'll be able to help the bigger, you know what I mean? So that's like I said, this is for you guys. This really is. This isn't for us. This is for you guys.
I mean, it's kind of therapy for us, but we want to impart some good gifts along the way, whether it be nuggets of wisdom or gift cards at this point. So yeah.
So yeah, I think that pretty much wrapped it up for this week. Unless you have anything else to share, my brother.
No, I just hope everyone has a good week, and I hope they enjoyed the podcast. And please tune in next week.
Yeah, and one more time, thank you, and I'm sorry for what the fuck you're gonna have to experience to get up to this point, because it's gonna be a lot of edits, a lot of roughage that I got to sort through. But we're gonna do it, goddammit, because like I said, I'm done. I gave up on giving up. So this is You're gonna get a rough episode, but hopefully you get something out of it, folks. So again, congratulations, James. I'm gonna find where I found you and to message you that way. So everyone, hope you have a good rest of your week, and we'll catch you next time on Gamers vs. the System.
Bye-bye.
Love you.